Let's do it.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating.
Affiliated, raised with the killer. Waiting for Facebook and Twitter. Bad guy feel like the real. The land, the odds feel like the wizard. Met a chick, say her name Crystal. Booty big, soft as some tissue. Corporated, started from a dealer. Still curtain just like the Steelers. I'm in traffic doing what I want. Promoters calling away from Arizona. Couple more, call from Oklahoma. Pockets bigger, you can say they grown up. Own pistol, never need a loaner. Own clientele, I've been a corner. Willie Nelson, guess I've been a stoner. These rappers fake, Bart Simpson, Homer. Saddle up, but we ain't ride horses. Designer shoes, but still rockin' forces. In the trap, we never had choices. I'm paranoid, I think I'm hearing voices. Seeing what I say, I'm paying portions. No matter what, you never can afford it. I'm the shit, I think I need a toilet. Out of sandwich bags, I guess I gotta foil it.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Hotline, my phone stay ringing. 4 grand iced out my pink. Too loud, smoking gas, no secret. I fought a loop, late night creeping. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. Party all night, ain't no sleep. Money up, I'm good, I'm eating. Red bone from the back, I'm beating. She calling out my name like the weekend. Dripping sauce, steady nutrient. Hopping out, feeling coopin'. Strap the top, I don't know where the roof is. I stay in exclusive, Punta Cana resort all inclusive. I don't want that little bitch, she a nuisance. Throw the brain drop, I off, throw them deuces. Golden State, all my niggas some shooters. 50 cal F&M and them Rugers. Told the package, I'm flexing, let's Luger. On the prowl for some milk for some cougars. 12 inches, they calling me ruler. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick her down when I'm done, call her Uber.
Oh no, I was just talking the whole time. Oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Toxic Masculinity Show. I am your host, Moneyboy Trey. Joy Chit Chat in the background being loud as fuck while I'm doing my introduction. But other than that, tonight we're gonna talk about the horrific video that I posted earlier where it appears the baby mama called her boyfriend over to get the baby daddy away from there because it was 6:30 in the morning or some shit like that. But the comment section was pretty lit. It was a lot of weird. I wouldn't say they were weird. It was a lot of interesting comments in the comment section on the video. So I wanted to hear from the people. I think y'all know how I'm gonna stand on this. When y'all see I'm in uniform, I got on my critical observation and nigga shirt. And I want to hear from y'all though. Joy, you saw the Joy. Are you ready? Can you play the video? How you doing? My bad. Let me stop. How you doing, George Chit? Hold
I'm
on.
doing good, thank you, Money Boy.
How
How are
you
you?
doing, George Chit?
Don't put the camera on me when I got my glasses on. I didn't feel like putting my stop.
Oh my God.
You know, you know
I'll
how
put
I
it
feel
on.
about my. I feel
How
like
you
I
how
be
you
like
doing,
I feel
George?
like I be looking
So
like a nerd when I have my glasses on.
so wait a minute. You mean to tell me you left before the intro, which was like 3 minutes. You came back about 4 minutes late because I was talking and on mute and had no fucking idea. You still ain't got the video queued up?
The video is queued up, sir.
Okay, well, before
Well,
you
my man
do it,
MoneyBoy Trey in the building. He said, hit that like or we gon' fight. Make sure you check him out on YouTube.
by the way, this episode is sponsored by the Fuck Kwame Brown Coalition. It's Fuck Kwame Brown all day, every day. If you don't like it, sir, make a video about me. You ready, Joy? Joy, my disdain for Kwame Brown has nothing to do with you, ma'am. If you want to ride on that tractor, go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you. Do your
Oh,
thing,
'cause I
baby.
was just about to say I do not approve that message, but it is your channel. I'm gonna let you ride it out.
Fuck Kwame Brown Coalition.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
That nigga so sensitive. He watched Tommy video earlier.
Oh my God, can we?
He's so sensitive. Push the. I'm waiting on you. Ma'am, you cannot stop me from saying this episode was sponsored by the Fuck Kwame Brown Coalition. I'm not knocking you. Ride the tractor, baby. Holla at the nigga. We can't see it. Oh, dang! You didn't tell me to add it to the stream. My bad.
Would you like me to go back a few seconds since you weren't ready when I was screen sharing?
Sure, my
Thank you.
beautiful queen, with your
Mm,
smart ass,
just asking a question.
with your smart ass mouth. Did nobody ask for this sarcasm, ma'am?
Sir, I just asked you, do you want me to rewind? That's it.
You should have smacked it, bitch. I, I, I just want to say on maybe a live or two ago, I was talking to Dr. Jefferson, and she was talking about the violence in the community, and I said black women can call a man and get a nigga touched at any given moment. Now her thing about dude coming to see his child was it's 6:30 in the morning, but that nigga didn't have no problem running over there to save your ass at 6:30 in the morning. Rush, what do you say about this video? Cause I don't want to go off too bad.
Um, First of all, I read a comment. Somebody said that I guess the guy was soft because he wasn't aggressive enough.
No, he said the
Um,
boyfriend needs his man card revoked because he went over there for some fuck shit. You went over there to stop a nigga
oh,
from
okay,
getting his
okay,
child.
okay. I misinterpreted that then. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. These chicks, these baby mama terrorists, they know the law's gonna the law's gonna protect them, so they do the most disrespectful thing to get you out your character, so you can react in a violent manner, but thank God the guy didn't fall for her snares, because I mean, if he would have whooped that ass for being unruly, he could have been locked up, for some dumb shit, trying to see his child, and a lot of times these chicks, they do these things because they know the law protects them.
Anyone else that wants to chime in on this conversation, the link is pinned in the whatever you call it shit, the chat. Joy Chit Chat. What? Because I don't. What did you say in the comment section earlier? What was your comment?
I said, based off of what I watched, I said that not verbatim because I can't remember actually what I wrote, but I said it like the new guy will end up being scared of the newer guy that's going to be protecting their child in 13 months.
Oh, you think she gonna get knocked up that quick?
I mean, I don't know how old this video is. I don't know what her belly seems a little protrude already. So I
Well, when I got to it, it was like 2 hours old. But I just want to read some of the comments. It was like baby mama, baby daddy, baby mama, and boyfriend drama. Somebody said she's very bitter. I want to fight her. Somebody said, where's the random sporadic drive by when you need it? Pardon my presence. I want him to come up too because we were arguing in this chat room and I promised him I was going
but let's even though the comment section was lit, let's talk about the dynamics of the situation by far. The man showed up at 6:30 a.m.
to.
Me myself,
And,
I would have been.
and,
That's what to do. Can I finish?
I just said and.
No, I'm not saying the man showed up at 6:30, which means
And.
would you let me finish my thought process?
I'm not stopping you. I just
I
said
am
and.
supposed to say I congratulate him for showing up at freaking 6:30. I'm an early bird. So 6:30 to me was like, why First of all, everybody was fully dressed at 6:30. Even the new boyfriend. He looked like he just came from the strip club.
Right.
He just came outside with a full outfit on, like, bruh, where your
She
pajamas
did
at?
too.
So
She really
everybody
did
mad
too.
about him coming at 6:30. And the child is still, I bet the child was in there eating dry cereal. You know he was you know the baby was in there eating dry cereal, listening to them argue.
I think Russ fell asleep. If he ain't asleep, he gonna unmute
No,
himself.
I'm still here.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Still here.
I about to say that boy fell asleep quick as hell.
yeah. I just feel like
Yo, he's funny as hell. Yeah, I got a bad habit of doing that, man. My bad, man.
oh Lord, you just fall asleep in the. But yeah, I just feel like that was my whole thing. Like, oh, he showed
I
up
can't see me.
early.
It's what are you trying to
Hey,
see?
Genesis.
It's dark where you're at, but yeah, we can hear you and we can see a shadowy figure that looks like. Are you riding on the tractor right now?
I hope you are, Genesis. Can I get a ride? Can you come pick me up on your tractor? We got.
Why is it so dark?
Uh, It's dark in your house, ma'am. That's fine. Just leave your just leave your avatar up. Cut the camera back off. Just leave the avatar up. It's fine. You don't want to waste too much time with lighting. We want to talk about
You can
this.
see
This
me?
yes. Now I can. We want to talk about this
No,
ghetto
put it
black
on.
woman
Why is
that
it so dark?
It's okay, Genesis. Your Wi-Fi is working perfectly. Just let's go.
yeah you
Shit.
yeah you
Can you see me
we're gonna talk around. I don't know if we can talk around you. Hey Genesis, how you doing? Can you hear? Can,
It's the Wi-Fi. Give her a minute.
should I do it like Tommy and yell at her and tell her to get a microphone and a Wi-Fi and stuff straight before she call? She know I'm not gonna do it like that. She always has these difficulties. But
now?
okay, you said six
What's going
o'clock
on?
in the morning. Leave out and come back in, Genesis. See if it changes, or get off the Wi-Fi and just use your regular cell phone signal. But so yeah, that was one of the things too. Somebody was like, it was 6:30 in the morning, but then on the same token, they were like, but if he was paying child support and he came at 6:30, it would be okay. And I kind of was just like, ooh, that don't. I was like, that don't sound good right there. It's wrong for him to come at 6:30 if he ain't paying child support, but if he is, 6:30 is okay. But I just want to point out to everybody 6:30 in the morning is probably what time that kid is up Monday through Friday any damn way headed to school. I just want to point that out
And I was trying to figure out why is 6:30 in child support an issue.
because women are greedy, ma'am, and y'all are illogical creatures. It was a woman that said it.
Oh, what she say? She said he don't pay child support.
Well, no, initially she was saying that he should. She said he was disrespectful for showing up at 6:30, and
Mm-hmm.
then she was saying that handle it through the courts or something. And I was just like, well, that's not an easy process. It's not an
So
overnight thing to just go and get. Even to put yourself on child support, it's still not an overnight thing. There's steps, there's hearings, there's warrants, and all that
Yeah,
type. You
it's
gotta.
a long, dragging
It's a fucking
process.
process. So
Yeah.
even still, it's not like a overnight thing. And she was saying, well, and she ended up saying something
See,
where like, if he
here's
was
the
paying
thing.
child support, she had no choice but to let him go at 6:30 in the morning.
Here's the thing.
mm,
Okay, with this
that's wrong
individual,
too.
with the female, the BMT, the Big Mom terrorist. Um,
I'm gonna laugh every
you know,
time you say that.
I mean, that's what she is, man. You know, she's extorting niggas for money through child support system. Won't let the father see his child. I mean, towards the end of the video, like he's like, "Yo, so fuck all that. Like, when's the good day for me to come through to see my child. And her rebuttal for that was, "You're jealous. You want to get back with me." It's just like, yo,
Get
man,
off
this is
social
like,
media. Get your mind right. Yeah, I heard all that dumb shit you were saying.
see, and thank God for social media, because when that kid grows up, if that father is not a part of the child's life because of the situation, that child will see that, like, there's documentations and videos that shows that the mom was a bitch, not letting the father see his child.
So this is what I
Absolutely.
wanted to know. And I'm a background person. I love to know about backgrounds because I'm nosy as hell. So with
Come
her,
on up, PMP. I'm sorry, I was telling PMP to come on, hit the
I
link, because he asked me
understand,
what some more options was.
right? So with this social media thing, once again, we're just going off of one video that's less than what, a minute?
I
Two?
see. From watching that video, I already know what kind of an individual that lady is. So let's not even go there. We
You,
all
you,
know she's a bitch.
you
Like,
got to say,
I
you know
mean,
what I
we
and
can
mean?
always say let's
That
not
shit is
go.
self-explanatory, huh?
you, you
We can
know,
always say let's not. Okay, go ahead.
I about to say,
Sorry.
Let's not.
I always have to get personal. I have 4 baby mamas. Every last one of them. Now, number 4, with our child's only 2, she hadn't done it to the extent as the other 3. But they all have tried the "you can't see your baby" shit. That is their number one thing. They all do it. I don't know if it's programmed in y'all. Y'all seen that shit on a movie. Y'all mama told it to y'all or what, but they all do it.
So it's
I'm
safe to
saying
say
all
that.
this time,
So it's safe to say that, as well as women, men carry baggage as well.
this ain't about the man, woman. This is
Yeah,
about what that woman did in this video
yeah,
where he clearly was like, this nigga was crying like Tyrese. He wanted to see his child.
yeah.
The only reason why I say it's safe to say that men carry baggage because you brought up your situationships with your
I,
children and your children's mothers, as well as
yes.
Rush brought up his own situation. Well, not his own situation, but
Well, I do it to be personal. I do it to be personal to add myself to the equation as to not exclude
okay, but that's
myself because
baggage. At
Parenting.
the end of the day, that's baggage. A woman can never get on a platform and say the things that you men say because it's going to be
yes,
always
they can.
suggestive.
They did it well before us. Men are just now getting the platforms to do it.
And all I asked was how long was the video and how can we interpret it a 1 to 2 minute video based on their life? And you two gentlemen already explained that yes you can because of this, because I got
That's
that.
because I've
Well,
lived
wait,
in the
wait, 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 wait. Hold on,
situation
hold on,
4
hold on, hold on.
times.
Well, can I ask you a question? By
Yeah,
watching this video, right, and seeing how irrational this woman was with her baby daddy, um, you don't see nothing wrong how she handled the situation.
like I said, this is a 1 to 2 minute video. I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened after. I don't know what's going on in neighbors.
Well,
I don't even know how old the child is in this
from watching
situation.
that video, forget the before and after what happened. By watching this video, the minute and 20 seconds of watching her actions, you have no problems on how she handled the situation with her baby daddy.
I didn't say I
There
had
was
no
nothing wrong.
problem. I don't have a problem with either or of these of this either one of them because, like I said, I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened after. I don't even know how
I,
old the child
no,
is
So why
when
forget
this
you
by
interaction
watching.
even happened.
It's just
So
a yes
that's
or
my
no.
stance.
It's a yes or no question, Joy.
It's not a
You
yes or
know, no,
no.
no semantics. Just give
That's
me a
not
yes or
semantics.
no.
That's me
By
saying I don't
watching
know what
that
happened.
video, by watching that video, you don't think she handled that situation kind of fucked up?
I don't know what happened before, and I don't know what happens after.
Oh
I'm
man,
not
you're
gonna answer yes or no
impossible.
to something that he can't even answer yes
Rush,
or no to.
forget Rush. It was a fucked up. That lady was a bitch. She's a big fat bitch of the whole wide world. Yes, sir. She handled it
A
wrong.
big
Yeah,
fat
she was wrong. She was wrong for that. She was wrong for how she handled it. You know what I mean? And okay, and let's say yeah, he did come over too early, right? let's just say he woke her ass up, fucked up her sleep or whatever. Let's just say he came too early. By being a biological father, doesn't that deserve a pass to
How
see
do
his
you know
child?
he's the biological father from a 1 to 2 minute video?
What the fuck, now? Like that,
Yo,
you
Sir,
just
you asked me a
see,
yes or no
see,
Like,
question. I'm asking.
I hear feelings. So,
see, this is why I
so
don't
what?
advise dudes.
So what?
So he can't answer me. Is that the biological father? Yes or
ma'am,
no? See, that's
you're
what's wrong
being
with the black.
extra.
That's what's
From
wrong with the
all
black man. The
from
black
all
man
we
can
know,
never answer a yes or no answer.
yes,
Is that
yes.
the
From
father
what
of
we
that
yes,
child that we never
from
seen
what
on that
Hold
video?
on,
from what we
hold on. Yo,
saw,
hold on. Yo, money boy. Let me chime in real quick. So you mean to tell me if this guy
Yeah.
wasn't, if this guy, do you think this guy would waste his time coming over to a Deuce's house? Because that chick is not even attractive. You're going over a Deuce's house
Did you even see the
6:30 in
for
the
the
dude?
morning
stepchild, for
Rush,
the
did you
to see a
stepchild.
even see the
to see a child that's
dude?
not yours? That
Did
doesn't
he
even
turn
make
the
any sense.
camera around to show his face? Did the dude turn the? How you know what the dude is
Ma'am,
used
you're
to if the dude didn't even turn the camera
ma'am,
around?
ma'am,
He ran
ma'am,
to his car
Towards
asking
the
this
ma'am,
dude,
towards the end of the
ma'am.
video, hold on. Let me. I'm about to answer a question.
"Come
Towards
on,
the end of the video, you can see the reflection towards the
a
vehicle,
reflection."
his reflection, and
So
honestly,
what did he look
by
like?
how he,
Was
by
he
how
light
he
skinned?
looks,
Did he look like
by
Drake?
how he,
What did he look
by
like?
how he,
What
by
did he look
how he
like?
looked,
Was it a high value?
yo, she
Yeah,
is,
what was he saying? What you go ahead, Rusty? We don't know.
yo, by looking at him, I could tell like she was just a jump off that he impregnated by accident. You know what I mean? You can tell like he looks like he looked like one of those dudes that be bagging chicks left and right, and he got a nice whip, a decent whip. He's doing his thing. Like you could tell that the chick he impregnated, she was a jump off. He probably got her pregnant by accident. You know what I
I
mean?
am I am shocked that she tried to play them black women games and said how we even know that was his son. Like, see,
Yeah, by
this is
that
what
point, yeah,
this is what we have to deal with when we dealing with black women. They just say shit to throw the conversation all the way off left.
oh yeah, man.
Like, and all of us that have watched this video have come from a perspective of initially just seeing that and judging off of it. Even she did it with her comment when she said it seemed like the boyfriend gonna be scared of the in a few months. So how's she gonna turn around and say, "Well, is that the real?" You didn't ask that when you made your comment earlier, man. You assumed that
Man,
he was the biological father, just like we did.
yeah. And no guy's gonna waste his time going over Deuce's house to see a child that's probably not his. You know what I mean?
And possibly have to fight a nigga over a kid that ain't mine.
Man, that's just so much
Hold up.
drama.
And the dude even said in there, I am going to put myself on child support. And she said, I ain't going to put you. He said, no, I'm gonna do it myself because you full of drama. The stepdaddy volunteered to do that.
Nope.
Are you back? Are you gone, Joy? Are you done? Are you finished? She probably walked off. If she cut the camera off, she'd be disappearing.
Yo, she's that emotional?
Nah. I said no, but yes, because she's a woman.
But I mean, see, here's the thing, right? That's what she's doing is like unfair. You know what I mean? You see a person's actions, you know they're dead wrong,
That's why I
and then you
said
go
women
flip
do
it
that.
like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
that's what
flipping it
women do.
like,
That's
yo,
what
that shit
women
is
do, sir.
crazy.
That is what the women do, sir. Genesis, we heard you, but you kept saying you couldn't hear us, but we heard you every time you said something. It was just delayed, but we heard you. Joy Chit Chat, I know you listening. Yeah, this is a bad look, darling. You ran away. You gotta come on back. You gotta come back.
Away from
Hey,
what? I ran away from what? You muted me. I walked off.
So you ran away,
conversation with Rush. I had to go do something.
Ma'am, you were disrespectful.
Nah, bro.
You were over talking this high value man. You were over talking this high value man, and you wouldn't let him complete his statement.
Interesting. Like I said, I muted and I walked away. So
no, I muted you.
Man can continue this conversation with you.
Why you gotta get an attitude though?
Because, bro, you don't do that. Why you fucking mute me? Because I'm.
Why you gotta be a? Why you gotta be? No, you
conversation with this high value man, because y'all don't do that shit nowhere else.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean.
Y'all want this. They don't even talking to y'all, and y'all want the nice ones to talk to y'all nicely, and then when it's cool.
And they don't even care about people watching. You wouldn't stop, nigga. He was trying to talk. You were being an asshole. Say you weren't. Don't get offended because you were being an asshole and I stopped you, ma'am. Whatever, ma'am. Whatever. You know that shit was
good.
You know that was bullshit.
I see what y'all be doing,
ma'am. You know that was bullshit. Every time he tried to answer the question, you kept going, how we know that's his daddy? How we know that was his daddy? Do you know it's his daddy? Do you know it's his daddy? I can literally rewind this shit. And you trying to act like you have a legitimate argument.
I mean, let's talk about this. You know what I mean? Like, because, obviously there's a miscommunication between male and female. So let's talk about this. Let's see if we can come up with a conclusion with this whole situation that went down between both parties. You know what I mean? We can be adults about the situation.
I'm always an adult. I just don't have feelings. You don't have to text me, man. We on the show. You can talk about the shit. Because, again, you were out of pocket. And you mad because I muted you.
Good, because I can go. The fuck out of here. Like, for real.
Go.
Okay.
You mentioned, ma'am, you mentioned leaving. I didn't tell you to leave. You mentioned leaving. I asked you to come back up here and have an adult conversation. And you got mad because you got muted because you weren't having an adult conversation.
Yeah, come on, Joey, man. This not cool, man. Come on. Let's talk about this.
That's not what black women do, bro.
Yeah, I guess. Well, let me ask you a question, MoneyBoy Trade. How would you handle that situation?
To be honest, in that situation, he handled it right, but I'm not putting up with no female that makes it hard for me to see my child. Fuck them both. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. And then, the worst part is, the simple fortune, man, he's ready to throw his life away,
Yeah, the other dude, because I mean, like, I salute the guy for he had a gun on him, but he no way, and he never tried to point it. He never tried to act like he was tough with it. None of that. So I salute him for doing that. But had he not been that level-headed, that guy could have gotten killed over some bullshit. That woman could have gotten killed over some bullshit.
How did they know? How did they know he had a gun? Was it holstered? Was it tucked?
I don't know. I just heard the guy say he didn't care about him having a gun. And then I heard somebody say, don't reach for a gun.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to bait him. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Rush.
Yo, what up, part of my presence? What's
MoneyBoy,
good?
what's going on?
Same old.
Genesis, what is that? TTC?
Hello?
Yo.
Hi, good evening. Can you guys finally hear me?
Yes, we heard you every time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just coming in halfway through. What were you saying? Pardon?
No, I'm just looking at your logo.
Yeah, it's a TTC.
So what do you think about this video? Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw the video. I'm so glad. I want to be on here with Rush because Rush, like, dude, you kill me every time you're up here, man. You're hilarious.
How?
You're funny. I like you.
Okay, I guess it's a good thing.
Anyway, yeah, back to this crazy chick. Listen, she's gonna get both of those dudes killed, man.
Yep.
That is just crazy.
She enjoyed that.
She did enjoy it. You know, she was in her element. She was in her element. She was having a moment. And obviously she doesn't care about the kid. And this dude, the new dude, he's an idiot. Why is he gonna get involved in all of that? And like you said, Money, it's 6:30 in the morning. What is he doing over there at 6:30 in the morning?
And came quick, looked like it.
Yeah, like you should be getting ready to go to work by that time, you know.
Yeah, that was my question, because at that time, nothing good's going to come out of that. If it's not a scheduled visit, you're just looking for drama by doing that.
I can agree that, but you know what? I take that back, because it doesn't matter what time he would have showed up. She was going to have that same fucking reaction. The guy was saying, I'm blocked from every number. I can't call you. I can't DM you. I can't contact you. I can't do nothing but pop up. And no matter what time I pop up, it's going to be an issue. But I know your ass at home at 6 in the morning.
But that's the thing. He's looking for the drama. And on top of that, he's recording. Usually when you're recording and you show up to someone else's house unannounced, you're looking for drama.
Yeah, I think if he was looking for drama, he would have been the aggressor in that situation. He didn't seem like the aggressor at all in that situation.
Oh, okay.
But there's
And pardon.
Okay, we'll give her that. Okay, he came.
Let me get him, Russ. Let me get him, Russ. And pardon, in America, you damn near better record all your interaction with these black women, because shit'll go left quick and they'll act like they didn't do shit.
I agree.
Act like they're the victim.
But there's two sides to it, right? There's someone who records as passive aggressive, looking for a reaction to play victim, and then there's the other part where you record to protect yourself. By him going to their property at 6:30 in the morning unannounced, he's the aggressor, right? That's off the bat. Now the other thing, if he wasn't able to see his child, if he wasn't able to schedule a visit, then he should be going through his lawyer to get that in writing. And the question becomes, if he doesn't have joint custody, then what is there to argue about? That's the first thing he should do, because once you have joint custody, she can't tell you.
You're right about that, Pardon, Mr. Pardon. You're right about that, but like that's like that's like handling it as like as an individual that has no feelings. You know, as somebody who's a parent and that wants to see his child, that needs to see his child and have that emotional attachment with your child, like you're not going to be that logical. You're going to want to see your child, you know.
Well, put it this way: when you're in that position, you have a firearm that the people that you're going to see know you have a firearm, and you're coming unannounced, and then the boyfriend. No, it's not legal, but the boyfriend's there as well too.
The boyfriend wasn't there. The boyfriend pulled up and blocked him in.
Okay, so my question is this: can she, based on the law wherever she is, can she file a restraining order against him based on what he did? Whether he wanted to see his child or not, can that be done?
We gotta hold on. We gotta recognize the fact that he didn't go over there trying to get some ass. He went over there trying to see his child. You know what I mean?
Restraining order is not just for sexual assault. It's for anyone who.
I know, but you're making it seem like this guy's just, you know, he's just looking for trouble. Nah, he's going over there to try to see his child. Yeah, it was early. Yeah, it was unannounced. But honestly, he's the father. He should get a pass for that. Like, come on. There's dudes that's pumping and dumping that they don't even want to see their own child. Like, this guy want to see his kid. Let him see his kid.
But let me ask you a question. When you have to ask, doesn't that already tell you guys that he's in a losing position?
Well,
no, because
let me say this.
Let me just add this. When you have joint custody, you don't have to ask nothing. in law. And anything
Shit, you
anything that's
have to
done after
ask the
that,
law to you have to
Yo,
ask the law
yo,
to
you
give you
don't
joint
magically
custody.
hold on. Let me say this, Money Boy Trey.
yeah,
You don't magically get that shit. That shit costs time, money, and effort. You know what I mean? Like, yo, any dude that impregnates a female in the United States is already in a losing position. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that he has a kid by this lady, but that's the situation he's gonna have to deal with. You know what I mean? We don't. Yo, I think the lady should have just let him see his kid. If it was that serious, she could have been like, okay, yo, next time this, yo, we'll work out some other time where you come in later because I don't appreciate you coming to the house at this time or unannounced. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't even like trying to fix the situation because as you watch towards the end of the video, he's like, "Yo, so what good days is for me to come through to see my child?" She won't even answer the question. She
yeah,
evaded
because
from she evaded from actually answering the question, right? And hit him with a whack rebuttal saying that, "Yo, you still want me?" It's like, "Yo, nah, like I want to see my scene." Like, "Yo,
well,
let me see my
that's the
scene."
thing. She has the upper hand, and you could tell based on that interaction,
That's what any
she's not
hold
listening.
on. That's what
Well,
any man
hold
in
on.
the United
Nah, listen.
any dude in the United States that impregnates a female does not have no kind of leverage. We know that. You know what I mean?
No. But here's the thing. You know by based on interaction that she has the leverage. We also know that she doesn't listen to reason. So there's no point in talking to her at that point. She's not going to listen to you. The only thing that she's going to respond to is based on legal matters.
Sir,
So you have to
sir,
go that route.
sir, have you ever had that happen to you? Where somebody just told you you can't see your child, you be saying fuck the courts and all of that shit. It took me
You
to
don't want
get
to see the scene.
it
Yeah.
took me to get to 4 kids to be like, you know what? If you're gonna make it hard for me and you know what type of nigga I am, then fuck y'all. And I have no problem telling them that. I done told all of them that. It is
Right.
what it is.
But hold on. But Mr. Pardon, my president, he's right. Like how he's explaining how he should handle the situation, he should handle it in that manner. But not everybody's going to be uh, reasonable when they have an
You're
emotional
cutting out.
attachment with their child. You know what I mean?
You're cutting out. But to answer that question, I've been in situations like that before, and the only way to prevent it from continuing is by taking that route. Once you take that route and it's solidified, there's no more arguments.
Well, why you
And
waiting on the courts to make their decision and to even put your case on the books? You might just say fuck that kid and that woman.
well, to
There's
me, that
always that possibility. Because I mean, what if it takes 2 years to get into court?
well, I mean
And that's two
that's not
years
the
not,
situation.
and
We
that's
got
2 years
COVID
not
now.
able to see his
They hadn't
scene.
been doing any cases because of this COVID shit. Now they got a backlog of what they already had, plus new cases coming in.
Well, put it this way: the person that you have a child with, were you living with them, or you guys were never together as a couple at all? It was a one night stand.
From looking at the situation, it looked like she was a jump off. He probably got her pregnant by accident. I mean,
Yeah, so he has no ties to her, no power, no property with her. So in other words, the kid's gonna be with her until otherwise, right? But if you are in a relationship, if you are in a household, property that you own, the child's living with you. There's no advantage on either side. You have equal rights because you're in the matrimonial home.
I just don't think that. I think everybody's making an issue of 6:30, but that woman, no matter what time that man would have showed up, would have did the same thing because he asked her several times, "Well, what time you want me to come back?" She didn't give him
and
one.
yo, to be real with you,
Correct.
this is what most males go through dealing with a child's mother. You know what I mean? And like sometimes when I can't blame a dude when they wash their hands on a situation like that. By me saying washing their hands like just part of their ways, like not dealing with a child or the mother. If child support get them, shit, just pay child support and not even deal with the fuss with the mom because it's always an issue trying to see the kid. You know what I mean? Like who wants to walk into something like that? You know what I mean? That's just crazy.
I hear what you guys are saying, but what I'm saying is there's a problem. The solution is to take it to court,
What if
right?
she moves cross country before he goes to court?
She looked like she crazy to do some shit like that too.
I don't know. Again, I'm in a different country. You guys know that, so it's a little different here. That they can't do that. That would be illegal.
Well, my baby mom hopped up and moved to Denver, and there wasn't shit I could do to stop her. Happened before. She's back in Memphis, but it happened. What the fuck was I gonna do? Kidnap her?
But why do they do that? Because they know the only way you can stop
Because,
them is by taking the court to fight for it. And if they know that you're not going to fight for it or pay the money
sir,
for it, then
sir, how do I know? Like when they just call and say I'm moving to Denver tomorrow, there is no courts involved. Even if I had a order that gave me visitation and she got on a plane and moved, then what? They ain't gonna pay no money to drag her ass back or to even find her. What you're
that's
What
saying
like if,
sounds good.
that's not
It's
if
kidnapping.
you're a man in the United
what you
States
which
and
it sounds good,
Is that
you're
not
in a situ-
kidnapping?
you're in a
not to the
situation where
court system.
you're in a situation where you have a child with a woman, you have no rights at all, none whatsoever.
That's not true.
It is true.
No,
Okay,
it seems that way.
you have
Pardon my
rights.
presence. And a lot of states in a lot of states here,
Mm.
until you go to court and like you can turn the birth certificate, that means nothing. You have to actually go to the courts and establish paternity to get rights in a lot of states here.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. The rights usually have to go with where the child lives, right? So let me ask you a question. If you were to flip it and the child lives with you, the father, can you not leave the state? Can you not do all these things that the woman is doing?
Men typically don't do that type shit though.
No, but you could.
Yeah, you could, but they
So then,
typically don't.
of course, we don't. So then the factor or the main thing is where does the child live? So if the child lives with you, there's no power, no advantage that the woman would have over you. Or
How you get the child
if
though?
you share residence, there's no power that she has over you.
How do you get the child though? That's where we're at. You know how this shit goes. If you got baby mamas, y'all are living together, shit's good, y'all fall out, you're gone. Now it's fuck that new bitch. I don't want no bitches around my kid. I gotta meet her
Yeah,
before I see her.
All
All
right.
that fuck
So is
shit.
it
yeah.
okay for me to talk now? Since y'all say black women don't have a voice over here.
No, go ahead.
Who
No,
said black
no,
women don't have a
You
voice?
that's not
said,
true,
sir,
Joy.
I'm
Come
not
on,
talking
no.
to you, money boy. I'm talking to the people that's on the panel because you disrespectful and I don't have time for it because right now I'm
Who?
listening to all of this gibberish that you guys got going on this panel. I have brothers. You men have to step up to the plate. If you want rights to your children, it takes nothing. It doesn't cost money to go to the court and
It
file a
does.
petition.
Yeah, it does. What are you talking about?
It
It's
does.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you guys want to have a conversation with a black woman,
no,
or
go
y'all
ahead.
don't? I'm a black woman. Do you guys want to have a conversation with a black woman? Because since you guys just said, "Oh, black women, they don't want to talk about nothing anyway," because I'm just doing blah 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 up here, but I'm
I,
listening to a bunch of gibberish
I
right
actually
now.
didn't say that, but go
Don't
ahead.
include me with them, Joy. Not in this
Okay,
room.
okay, my bad, partners, because you did just get up here and you and
Damn,
Jennifer
part of
good.
this
But
like
these
that?
two gentlemen, Rex
Chill out.
and
But
Money
I
Boy,
actually didn't
both
say
don't
that,
know. They just
Ma-
disrespectful. They don't want to
ma'am,
understand where somebody's
ma'am,
coming from. Okay, let me not
ma'am.
overtalk so you don't mute
It,
me
no,
again. So I can have
first,
my say on what is
first,
going on with the court system when
first
it
of
comes
all,
to
ma'am.
custody, when it comes to actually in Memphis. Let me stop
First
over
off,
talking you
and
guys.
first and foremost, I am here to entertain. So if you still want to keep being petty and going back to me muting you, I was serious when I muted you because you asked the man a question, and every time he answered, you cut him off. But that was
Okay,
part of that's part of the
that's part of
entertainment.
entertainment.
Can I stop? Can I finish?
And
No the muting I wasn't getting. No, I was going past it. Now the muting that was fine. You came back, and then you asked why I muted you, and that's where the entertainment portion of the show came
I
in.
don't have
When
time
I
for that.
said,
If we have a
"Ma'am,
conversation,
can I see you're doing it again?"
what
So
you gonna do?
that's where the entertainment portion of the show came in when I said you cut this high value man off because everybody knows that Kevin Samuels mutes women when they get loud and over talk him. So it's a joke. I don't know Rush. I
I
don't know
wasn't
if he's a
speaking
high value,
loud.
but
And you
you got. But
also
can
labeled
I
me as
finish?
a black
Can I
woman
finish?
can't have a conversation.
Can I fit? Well, I mean, that's how you were carrying yourself when you
I'm
asked
a
the man
black
a
woman,
question.
so yes, I'm
Oh,
gonna carry myself the same way.
well, you proved me right then. So you can't get upset that you proved me right about my
I
joke.
didn't prove you right about nothing because you
It was
muted me
about my
on your
ma'am.
platform.
How many shows have you
Sir,
done
can
with
I
me?
go
You
back to saying what I was saying about
oh,
the court
okay,
system?
but you came in talking about since you muted me, so we just
Yes,
had to
since
get
you
that out the way.
muted me.
Now that we got that out the way, and we realized that it was I stopped you for a reason, and the rest was entertainment. Go ahead.
Just ridiculous at this point.
But you know this. This ain't nothing new.
Anyways, to piggyback on all of
Like,
you,
I hear feelings. So, so what? So what?
oh, I can't remember. Anyways, my point is to say to all of you gentlemen on here, because I hear one gentleman saying in they state they don't know what goes on. I know for sure in Memphis, California as well. All it takes is for you guys to go and do a petition. Don't really cost no much too much money. I think it's like $200 to even file for joint or full custody.
Yep.
Literally, that's it. All these excuses I'm hearing on the panel don't mean shit to me. Because you can go out there and you can fight for your child as little as $200.
And Joy,
Why should you have to fight for your child though? Think about those
That's your
words.
fault that
Fight.
you laid down with that woman.
There is
yeah.
I
nothing
didn't lay
pleasant
down with
about
her.
the word fight though. There's nothing
You
you
laid down
said
with this
so, and,
woman.
and
I can't
okay, and
tell
I
you
shouldn't
that.
so I laid down with that woman. I feel you. That's all good. That's fine and dandy. But guess what? I don't have to fight for a person that's going to make shit difficult for me. Life
But
is
you do
difficult enough.
understand when you
Life is
apply for a
difficult
job. Listen,
enough.
sir, when you apply for a job or you got a career, you apply for a position at somewhere, you still have to fight for. You got to make sure you got your 401k, your
That's
medical.
not a fight.
That's not a fight, but you're still paying for it. So why not pay for your child?
The
So
other
your
the other
future,
benefit to joint is that you pay less in child support as well too.
exactly.
Oh,
So
I
then,
know all of these things, but I'm still saying I'm not fighting with nobody. Fuck fighting. If you want to do this shit on your own, fuck you, do it.
then
May God bless
what
you.
you mad about this? You know what? You're right. You're right, son. All I'm saying is I have a twin brother, I have a younger brother, and they've been through this with their kids, with their child's mothers, and they went out and did the same thing.
Ma'am, I don't have a child support order, so apparently my way worked
Okay,
4 times.
then cool beans. Cool beans. So what is your
Hey,
argument
Money Boy,
against?
you need to come out with books,
We
how to
were
deal with
just
your baby
giving
mamas.
Man, we just are all giving our opinions about this video, so I don't know why you're talking about. So what are you
And
mad? I'm
I was
not
giving
mad at
my opinion, and
anything.
when I gave my opinion about the video, y'all got mad at me because I
No,
said
we did not.
We did not
I
get
said
mad
it
at
was
you.
a 1 to 2 minute
We're not
video.
mad
We
at you.
didn't see
Just
what
We
leave
happened
us,
didn't.
man.
We
before, and we
didn't
didn't see
get
what happened after. You guys
nobody.
made all these assumptions about this woman. Oh, she's a
Everybody
married
did,
woman. She's this and she's that. We don't
She's
know
a
what's going on.
bitch.
but so what?
Yo, I'm gonna
Everybody
call a
made
spade a
This
spade,
assumptions.
is going
man.
on.
That lady was a bitch.
Why
Lady,
was
you
that bitch off of a
Joy,
1 to 2 minute
Joy.
video that we don't know what happened beforehand?
You know what? I'm finna read your comment verbatim. Since nobody can assume anything about the video now, before or after, I'm gonna see why you made the comment that you made on her.
I
Since
did.
you didn't know, nope,
Wow, so
you
you
didn't
trying
know
to read
nothing about
mine.
it.
I said what I said. I can
I
say
was
it. I
reading
can
all
say
of
what I
them and I
said.
stopped,
I
but
said
In
that
13
dude, the
months,
new
the new
guy,
boyfriend will be scared off by the newer boyfriend when he come to see his child. How you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing about her, dude, or the other thing. So how are you able to make all these assumptions about what's gonna happen in 13 months?
I did say that. I did write that when I watched the video earlier today.
That's the
Now we're
question.
going back,
If
rewatching it and
none of
having
us
a
can,
conversation behind it. Now we're having a conversation, and everybody else is giving out their opinions and say, "Oh, she's a nasty woman. She's this and ooh, this and that." I'm like, well, if you think about it, we wasn't there in the beginning. So yeah, I did leave that comment underneath your section,
we ain't
sir.
knocking you for your opinion. We just saying,
You,
we're
you
just saying,
But
tonight.
but
nobody knocked you.
if it was something else going on before that, she would have been stating that. That's what kind of ignorant bitch she looked like. First of all,
Oh, God, not an ignorant
which
bitch.
I'm not trying to be hard on her, Joe. I'm not
That
trying to
is
be hard. I'm
crazy.
just calling. Give me a chance now. You get. I'm not gonna say that, but
No, you good, Matt.
it,
I'm not in my element over here. Don't worry.
because you begin two
Like
times.
I hear feelings. So, so what? So what?
Man, we trying to have good conversations, man. We ain't trying to get all worked up in our emotions and stuff. We trying to have fun, man. I'm saying,
Right,
but
it's the damn toxic masculinity show. You know we was gonna dog
My
that
bad.
bitch.
Oh, it's me
No, but
over
I'm
here.
saying you
but
know
it's
My
we was
not.
gonna
bad.
dog
My
that
bad.
bitch.
You know I got
You know,
this cat
no, you
channel.
know
I
we
can do
was
this
gonna
over
There,
there.
dog
My
that.
bad. I didn't know I was interrupting you guys. I was
there
You
you
inviting
know we
go
were gonna
again.
dog that lady. Come on now,
I guess.
Joy.
And
You
then
knew
for
we were
everybody
gonna
else, it's
dog this
all good.
lady.
My bad.
Oh my, see that's and back to
I mean,
my
I
earlier
don't.
statements.
I mean, we don't. I don't want to treat Joy like that, but we're just going to know her for a second. I don't know what's go, but nah, this is a real crazy looking situation, man. The dude is wrong for going over there at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
What if
what
he
is
was going to take him to school, G?
then he should have put that in the video before he put it up. I got
No,
to judge it on
I'm
what I see.
saying no.
Yep.
What I'm asking is, if he was going to pick him up for school at 6:30 in the morning, it wouldn't be an issue.
If that was the arrangement, then that wouldn't that be child neglect?
Bruh, no, I'm saying Monday through Friday on any given day, if she said, "Hey, come take your son to school," it would not be a problem for him to go at 6:30. So I don't know why 6:30 is being the focal point of the nigga going to see his child.
Because it was
Because
stated in the
unannounced.
video.
I
It was
don't
stated
like
in the
y'all
video
right
at the
now.
time 6:30.
It was unannounced. If she called him over, then she invited him.
But for the whole ass Superman nigga that came pulled up though, that's none of his damn business. I mean, for real. The girl looked
No,
like
it's
she stayed
it's
with her
not.
mama from the get go. Because there ain't nowhere in the world she living in a nice house like that. Not acting and looking like that.
So let me ask you something, Matt. Do you think that the father was in the position of power in that video?
No,
He had a weak position.
no, because that's her property.
That's
Yeah,
what any male in the United States, man.
but what does that
If
tell you though? Is that but what he did
if
is the wrong approach.
Yeah,
The
if
wrong
if,
approach.
that was the wrong approach for him.
if you have
Every
And,
if
and it
you
looked
if you if you have a baby mama in the United States, every man is gonna have a disadvantage dealing with that woman. You know what I mean? What if it's in the
that's
courts? What if you're trying to come see your kid, trying to be reasonable? There's no way of winning. You know what I mean?
that's not always the case though. Let me say something. What we usually see is what rappers and athletes deal with, and
I'm
one of the
not talking
reasons.
about.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
let me finish. Let me finish.
all right,
Let
all
me
right.
finish. But what if you notice in those cases, the reason why they end up paying so much in child support and they have so many issues because they can't be a 50% father to get sole custody because they travel, they make money traveling abroad. They're not able to take their child to school on a day-to-day basis. So they never get either full custody or even joint custody. And that's why the women end up with so much money in child support payments and they get screwed over. But for a regular person, a regular guy who has a 9 to 5, a guy who has a set schedule that works locally, there is no reason for you not to fight for joint custody. It's the smartest thing you could ever do. And it's really the only thing that you can do to make sure that you have some power and some say and control over what happens with your child.
But not to come over top of part in your presence, but
Go ahead.
first thing you should be doing, especially now in the day's time, is try to work it out without this fucking cracker in your shit.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stop putting him up in that motherfucker. Get in there and figure out what makes it work for y'all to help that kid out. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
We're doing too much fucking complaining and shit about this motherfucking cracker and shit, but we still keep inviting him in and using him for a scapegoat on every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And if two heads could prevail, then it's not required at all. Everything could be done based on you guys writing something out. You can even go to a mediator, and it's a lot cheaper, right? So there's many options. Usually, if it goes to a lawyer, it's because two adults are acting like kids, and then everyone loses, and the lawyers win.
Shit, y'all can write that shit out, agree upon it, have a witness and a notary. Somebody with a fucking stamp sitting there right there in front of you and stamp your fucking contract.
Yep.
That is a fucking contract. You don't need nobody else in your shit.
100%. But again, the question becomes: is this someone that you're in a relationship with, or is this a booty call, or like sometimes you have? It's based on the foundation of it, right?
Adults should act like fucking adults.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
They should.
I mean, that was their decision to lay down, and they end up having that motherfucker, no matter if you're together or not. You know what I'm saying? If it was one night stand or whatever, you know you knocked the bitch up. Goddamn, take care of it.
Yeah. I ask because many times...
Not to use the B word like that. I am drinking tequila tonight.
Yeah. I ask because a lot of times you guys have no connection. You guys don't even agree with simple things. Parenting, you guys might not even be in the same state. It's like, how did you guys even end up together with a child? That never should have happened. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, man, it's irresponsible on both ends because, I mean, clearly they're not. I mean, they're not even ready to have a kid together. But I guess they're just winging it, you know. And you're right, you know, you shouldn't just knock out any other chick. You know, you gotta vet her so you can avoid from having situations like the video we just watched earlier. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I definitely think that boyfriend that pulled up, he was out of position. It looked like, first of all, the baby dad, he put himself in that position if that dude would have fucked him up.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? If you came over there unannounced, then I mean that's that woman's property. You know what I'm saying? The way she was acting, she ain't scared of you because she was sitting there walking towards you. So she didn't have no reason to be calling him unless she grew balls or something, goddamn, after he got there or something.
She was smiling at the end too because she knows you have two men fighting over her. She's enjoying that shit.
Big dude like that walking up on me and shit and thinking shit sweet. I'm gonna walk away goddamn peacefully. Yeah, but he shouldn't have put his nose in my shit though. He'll find that out later.
Yeah, I mean that right there should easily turn into a murder scene, man. Like easy, like you know what I mean? Like because you know just him by like just the principle behind that. You know, another dude coming to such a personal situation, telling me to leave a spot where my child lives at. Yo, oh man, okay. Let me go to my truck real quick. Oh yeah.
Times, I mean, at certain times, in certain places, you know what I'm saying, he might needed to intervene, but there was no aggression going on for him to say anything like that, nothing but arguing. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga shouldn't have pulled up at all. That's your problem.
Yeah.
True.
The principle behind that. You know what I mean? Like that right there could easily turn into a murder scene, man. Real quick. You know what I mean?
Man, I came up here to referee, man. Y'all got me going on.
And then if the dad and the boyfriend did happen to get to fighting, and the son is seeing it, or whoever the son, the son got to make a choice. Who I'm gonna ride with, the boyfriend or my daddy?
Yep.
Yo, it's not, yo, man, it's not even worth it, yo. That shit's just crazy.
Well, that's why I said, pardon my presence. There are some other options. You might not like them, but it's some other options. You can just say, fuck that bitch
Run
and
down
that
the
child
options.
too. Fuck that bitch and that child too.
Yeah, man, watch
As
your
you
hands,
said,
man.
you
Because
can get
all
child
that's gonna lead you
support.
to jail. That's
Hold on,
it.
hold on, hold on. What are the
You said
options?
you said fuck that bitch and that child. That's option one. You can do as you said, go to court and fight it. Or the third and final option is you could Ray Caruth, but I wouldn't tell nobody to do that one.
Ray Caruth.
Ray Caruth, I'm just saying, I
Ah,
wouldn't tell
damn.
nobody to do that one. Or Jesse Dotson for the Memphis people, but again, I wouldn't advise that to happen either.
Mm-mm. That ain't worth it.
No, it's not. That's why I don't like the term fight. A hassle is not worth it. All of that stuff causes resentment. And when there's resentment, you're causing issues anyway.
Let me ask you a question. If you don't, let's say that the mother doesn't have you on child support, but then 5 years later there's an issue, and then she takes you to court. Does that mean that you have back pay for all those 5 years
Yeah,
previously?
yeah. You
Yep,
gotta pay
in the
all that.
United States.
You gotta pay all of that. This is why I don't. This is why I don't advise men to get married or have kids, because it's like, yo, you're taking the L all across the board, man. Yeah, I
But
mean,
isn't
the
but
law's
isn't
going. Yeah, go ahead.
Joy, could you please stop it, ma'am? I asked you nicely. I said I gotta get back to the show. I ain't trying to
Your
argue
part
with
of what you
you,
was
and
about to
you
say.
won't stop.
I was gonna say then is doesn't it make sense to pay something though? If they
No,
can always
no,
go
no.
back and
If you're in that situation, all the advice you spat out, I would have handled it that way. You know what I mean? But not every dude is going to be rational when he has a strong emotional attachment with a seed. He might not. He might want to see his kid. You know what I mean? Right there on the spot. You know what I mean? Cause yo, these battles in courts, man, like the whole process of you fighting for custody and be able to see your seed, like if it takes like 2 to 3 years for you to even get some type of custody percentage, like yo, that whole 3 years you might not be able to see your seed. That's horrible, you know?
that's and again you're what you're saying is correct, but what's the alternative? You might not be able to see them anyways if you don't do it.
Yeah,
Right?
no, you're right.
It depends.
You're
It
right.
depends on whether or not the man could work things out with the woman,
But
and they
let
come
me
to a
tell you let me
compromise.
tell you why that's so crucial and why dudes might react in an irrational manner when it comes to seeing a kid. Like he has that's 3 years of having no influence towards your own seed. You know what
Yep.
I mean? That simple influencer is gonna have more of a connection with his seed than he would because he's gonna be around in the mix for that 3 years while they battle in court trying to get the custody. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yo,
You get
honestly, man, yo, that shit probably make me live it, yo. Like, yo,
But
nah,
then the
Well,
yo,
question,
that shit is
you
crazy.
get over shit when you're not around them for it. I mean, if you're not around your ex girlfriend for 3 years, you're not gonna care for her anymore.
well, I was gonna say if you lose 3 years off the bat where you have no connection prior to that, then there was never a foundation. So where was the attachment?
Nah, that's not true, man. Like, you can't. Honestly, I mean, that's what an alpha does. They are just logical to the T. You know what I mean? But just some things, man, yo, you're gonna be emotional about certain things, and when it comes to a child that's yours, you're not gonna be that. Yo, trust me, man, you ain't gonna be that rational, bro. You're gonna be like, nah, I need to see my seed now, yo. You know what I mean? I mean, that's if you give a fuck about your kid. You know what I mean? You know, you have some people don't care about situations like that, and some of the people that wash their hands from the situation, like just not like saying fuck the kid and fuck the baby mom, they
Oh,
know it's just a losing situation. Because yeah, you can spend all this money, fight the courts to try to be involved with your kid's life, but yo, like the moms that spends the most time with the kid, like the kid is learning from what she moves. So
Well, I mean,
if the mom's a wicked individual, the kid gonna move as a wicked individual. You know what I mean?
parental alienation is a real thing. But here's my question to you. I'm pretty sure we all agree that the women know the law. When it comes to family law, women know it, and they manipulate it, and we're on the outs because we don't. We don't know it. We don't
no,
study it.
no. Actually, they don't know the law. They hear shit from other people, and then once they get there, the social workers tutor them the rest of the way through.
But they learn it from somebody.
Yeah, they learn as they go.
But so how about us? Are we learning? Are we strategizing?
I mean, everybody has their own road of strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like MoneyBoy, me, we have our different roads of strategy.
Yo, my strategy is not to knock up none of these chicks.
Russ has the most foolproof strategy.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids, man?
Who, me? Yeah.
Yeah. He's the only one up here without kids. He's the only one that got it right. That's the best strategy there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because it's like, yo, it's just too much, you know. And this, like, having having a kid with a chick you don't like, that is such a hindrance to you just evolving, not just financially, spiritually, and mentally. Like, it just holds you back. Like,
But
yo,
Russ, it does take niggas like us to keep the earth populated. Because if every man think like you, ain't no more kids.
What the 20%, the 20% stat?
yeah,
That was
you
Rush.
know
That
that's
was
true,
Rush.
man.
Oh, it sure was, bro. He said 20% of niggas ain't fucking.
Yo, boy,
Oh,
nigga,
20% of
mad
niggas
funny,
are
yo.
fucking. My
I mean,
bad.
I mean,
80% of men ain't getting ass according to Russ.
that's ludicrous. But which we giving our opinions and stuff. Let's really hear what the first lady of the
Yeah,
house has to
Joy
say.
needs to speak.
Joy has not been. Joy has had the
You're not
ability
gonna
to
get a lot
speak
of people
all
answer
night.
Joy, man. She's
I'm,
just all
I,
over the
I,
place, man.
I mean, I've been listening and shit, and she just been losing the volume bottom. You know what I'm saying?
She's watching Kevin Samuels.
Oh, oh, oh no.
She tuned out.
Joy knows she can speak whenever she can. She just knows she has to speak rationally and not behave like the women that I talk about, because it would be kind of weird for me to let you do what I talk about women for doing. That would be really weird. People would be like, "Hey, you let Joy Chit Chat do that. Why you don't say nothing to her?"
So what am I saying?
Mad said he missed you to come on back to the conversation.
So what are you saying about the women that you don't let speak? Because I'm confused.
Oh God. I have not said I don't let women speak, ma'am. So you mean to tell me you don't know anything about the toxic masculinity brand or message?
Are you serious right now?
Yes, because you've heard the 95% spiel that I built the platform off of. You know how that goes. We
Okay,
we, we
so
kind of met under these terms. So why you acting like you don't know what I'm talking about, ma'am?
y'all just asked me to come on mute because
Yes, come on back
I let
and
y'all
join the
finish all the
conversation.
talking points, but I'm confused. Don't call my name if I can't say nothing. As soon as I say something, I get muted all of a sudden.
Ma'am, you got muted like
All the men
40
that's on the
minutes
panel right
ago.
now, has he ever muted me before? No. But since I decided to speak on this subject because I asked one simple question about what was going on with the video, it became a whole big thing. He already
You,
know I analyze videos. So I saw the
can,
video and I said, what
can I
happened
defend
before and what
myself?
happened after? Nobody
Can,
wants to
can,
talk about that. You
can,
guys just want to talk about the surface of it
can,
all. The
can I
social
defend
media.
myself? Can I defend myself? Because you took jabs at me. I've actually muted every last one of these gentlemen up here before. I've also did what I say, get them the fuck up out of here and kick them off. I actually did you like that the other day too. So for you to say I've never done that to you or anybody else is false. It's entertainment, ma'am. But no, when I muted you, it was because every time repeat it again, you asked it.
On that already.
But you
had a
just
whole
said
conversation already behind that. We're
you just
moving on. I want to move on.
well stop bringing it up and stop taking shots at me.
I'm not taking shots at you, but don't bring shots at me and think I'm not going to say nothing back.
I did
The
not.
fuck? I don't give a fuck about this toxic masculinity chat. This shit with all you dudes up here. Y'all still cry babies.
But we're asking for your input. You don't
I
want to
had
give it?
my input and I got muted when I had my
Ma'am,
input.
you got muted when Russ was talking, not when you're talking.
Yes,
Now
I got
you're
muted when
painting
Russ was
you're
talking because I
painting a
always
false
asked.
narrative.
But
You're
sir, you
painting a
talk
false
over me. I
narrative.
got muted because I said from that 1 to 2 minute video, I can't
You're
determine what
lying.
type of
No,
woman
you're
that was.
lying.
You
You
guys
are
were.
lying. You're
I'm not
lying. Yes,
lying.
yes, you are. You got
Oh
muted because
wow.
you asked Russ a question. Mother, you know I have photographic memory.
I don't
You
care what
asked.
you
Okay,
have.
so stop. I'm going to tell you how you're lying.
Okay, go
Your
ahead.
question was already asked. Russ began to answer. And
Hmm.
every time Russ answered, you stopped him and said, "How you know that's his kid? How you know that's his kid?
That's
You
not
did it."
true. That's not true. He
Russ,
said
you were
something
here.
about the
Russ,
child.
you
I
were
said, how
here.
do we know that that's
Russ, you
really the
were here.
father of that child?
Is this
Because we don't know
and
nothing about the,
I just said that. I said every time he got ready to answer, you cut him off saying that.
not every time. All I'm
Yes, you
saying is
did.
you
That's why
got
I
clip
muted you.
notes of what
That's
me and
why
Russ
I
did.
muted you.
Now
You
you
were
got
not
clip
muted.
notes.
You weren't muted prior to you doing that.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I
sir,
mean,
come on.
she cut me off a few times, but yo, let's broach the subject matter, man. Let's not argue no more. You know?
It wasn't an argument. It was just me asking him, how did he know if that was really that child's father? Because it was something that he had said. I was speaking to that gentleman, not you. But obviously, you wanted to figure something out with that situation. I was just going based off the video
All of us were. That's why it was a weird question to ask.
because Rush said it. He asked the question. So I
Right,
said,
you be
how do you
lying, man.
know if that's the father? That's what
Oh, we
I asked
haven't.
Rush in the midst of him talking about it. But I guess me asking that question is different from everybody else having their opinions and what you're
Oh,
supposed to do.
Yo, where's the video
Oh
from?
God, see you keep saying, oh God, but everybody don't know the court system. But it's different when I'm up here saying it. Oh, but never
Where's the
mind.
video from? Was it from social media or you
It was from social media, from Facebook, I guess.
And that's all it do. That's all it was to it.
It was that
well,
was it. 1 to 2 minute. It was a 1 to 2 minute video, and I just was having questions behind it. I guess my
I,
questions is not valid.
I also want to point out I told Mad and Pardon My Presence I didn't like them because of the shit that they were saying as well. So I think I've been pretty
You
consistent here
didn't
this
mute
evening.
them, and you haven't been on their head top like you've been on mine about me interrupting Rush and asking Rush. How do you know that that's really the biological
So
father?
so even after I explained to
it
you the
better be.
interportion part of my show, you still are going to be upset. Even though
I'm
you've
not
been on the show
upset.
with
I'm
me
just
and
having
you know how I
a conversation.
entertain. You keep saying it sarcastically though,
You
ma'am.
muted me when I was having the conversation and
We're
said,
gonna have to cut
"You
this
had to
part of the video out.
I ain't cutting shit out. It's staying up because I mean, at any given time we could just keep talking about the
no,
conversation,
go
but
ahead,
we
finish,
keep going back to
finish."
her being muted.
You got a guest. You added someone. Hello, Dr. Jefferson. You added someone to the panel, and you got to be polite when you polite.
Oh, you guys are perfectly fine.
She
I'm
she
waiting
could
for the
wait
resolution of the
until we
issue.
get through handling our
No, it's
business.
nothing to handle. Just
Until we
finish.
get through
I'm
handling
sick of
our
every time
rural
I
and
say
mall
something to you
situation.
guys about this conversation because obviously you guys got baggage and are upset about
Maybe
women.
we do. Maybe we
That,
do. Can
I
we
guess
vent?
is because you guys been coming at me really, really hard about this. Because I'm like, after that I watched it the second time, I'm like, well, we didn't see actually what everything that happened. But now it's like,
That's a woman answer though.
okay,
That's a sexist comment.
I'm very sexist. That's a woman answer. I don't understand how that's relevant to what we were viewing.
because you guys had a lot of different conversations behind the situation. Like, oh, maybe you need to go to court, and no, you can't go to court because the courts are not going to give him no child support. I mean, not child support, but not visitation. I'm like, we only watched the 1 to 2 minute video.
But we heard him in the video say he was gonna go put himself on child support.
I
But he
also
still was
heard
there to see his child.
body shame this woman and say, "Oh my God, who wants to f with her if she looks like that?" And I'm like, "Well, turn the camera around because we never seen."
No,
But ma'am, that's what we
the reason
do.
why. Oh man, you just twisted
There was just
everything.
a lot of things you guys were saying that didn't make no sense for a 1 to 2 minute video.
No, because
She did look like Fraggle Rock.
She gonna sit here and act like we don't talk about bad shape bitches. Like you've
No, it's
heard it.
not
Like,
about that.
how did you become brand new tonight? How did
No,
you?
you're not a
You've
bad
never
shape
been on the show
man.
before.
And that's not all bad shape chicks. If they
But
acting
ma'am,
incorrect,
if you would say that, we wouldn't be offended. We would laugh it off and keep it moving. So you're really just defending this woman because we came down hard on her.
No, no, no. If you wouldn't have muted me and then
that's
shook
what it
me
looks
out
like.
the
That's what it
conversation,
looks like.
I hear feelings. So? So what? So what?
you grown ass men were crying about how y'all can go to court and fill out paperwork to get custody or joint custody of your own children. That's what y'all was up here crying about. Except for
Stop
the
But
ones
saying
who
ma'am,
y'all.
don't have
Stop
first of
saying
children.
y'all.
all, wait a minute,
Well,
wait a
as I
minute.
said, except for the ones who don't have children or ones
Well,
who did go.
allow
That's what
me to
you guys
defend
were up here
myself too.
crying about. And then when I
Allow,
started speaking
ma'am,
about it, I got muted. I'm talking over all of y'all. I was like, man, this shit.
Kevin Samuels would never allow a woman to overtalk him. You know I make jokes about this. But
Oh my
anyway, as I
oh my
to
God. Oh my God. You
Dr.
didn't do
Jefferson,
Like,
I
I hear feelings. So? So what? So what?
to defend myself,
You're
I
a whole
wasn't
you're a dick. You're a dick. Completely. Period.
I
Period.
wasn't
Period.
Joy,
And I'm like, Joy, don't play with me.
Yes, ma'am. That's how I
Joy,
feel right now because they do
if
me up here all
if
the time
y'all
and
are
they do
not the
this all the
if
time.
y'all are not the 95% of the women that I'm talking about, chill.
We'll
Just
be that.
chill.
We'll be that. Look, listen. This is the easiest way for you to get rid of the conflict between yourself and Joy. She does have a valid point. You did disrespect her by muting her. So all I
Ma'am,
have to say is that you're sorry for being.
women are never right. I will apologize, but it's gonna take me. It took her 34 minutes to give me the public apology, so she got to wait too.
See,
But
look at you.
I had to defend myself though. I wasn't up here crying, ma'am. I got to repeat. My method works. I'm not on child support for any of my kids. So
There
I'm
you
nigga.
not crying. I'm just saying how my shit rolls. Am I wrong for that? I'm just speaking my speech.
Well,
I'm
no,
just giving my life story.
but all I'm saying is that she just needed a little bit of validation. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like she does have a valid point. If she's the only female commenting while you guys are commenting on the same subject, and it is a sensitive subject essentially for women. It's
For men too.
well,
She up here
obviously,
caping for her sister.
uh, obviously, it's a sensitive subject for men because it's the man being offended in the video. So what I'm saying is, on the flip side, the part that's difficult for most people to see is that it's also a sensitive subject for women.
Especially with
Yeah, for all
men
parties
not
involved.
going through that.
You
They're
said
they're
what,
only
But
making
Joy?
can we all agree that the woman, the BMT handled the situation in an irrational manner?
oh yeah,
Did Dr.
definitely.
Jefferson? Did you see the video?
Oh yeah, I've seen the video. I've done a commentary on the video when it first aired. But yeah,
So I was late.
yeah,
All right, so
you
we do agree on that.
yeah. I don't think anybody disagrees on that. But and I saw that the urban therapist put that it was 6:30 in the morning, according to the one.
Yeah, the guy and the girl both said it was 6:30.
Okay, so can I ask Dr. Jefferson, because as a woman to a woman, without you guys jumping in, because this is how I got kicked off the panel earlier.
You
I got kicked off the panel. Anywho, I got muted. What I was saying in the midst of that video is social media is 1 to 2 minutes. I'm not taking away from what happened to the gentleman in the video and what's going on with the woman. I'm just going off the commentary of the man that's on the panel. It's like, oh,
who is it? Whose mic is this? Who rubbing?
It's not me.
It's not me neither, because I don't have my mics hooked up.
I think it was Rush.
So what I was saying
Nah,
in the midst of everything is that I feel like it's a 1 to 2 minute video. We really don't know what's going on. The gentleman on the panel is basically saying, well, hey, that's not me.
Mad Mike is muted. Everybody shit muted. That is you, Joy.
No, that was the doctor scratching on some turntables, but I ain't gonna tell nobody else.
Yeah, that ain't me.
I wasn't doing nothing. I was just sitting.
Okay, well it was Dr. Jefferson.
It's probably just like you probably got some headphones on. That's how my headphones. I don't know. That's how my shit be doing.
Finish your statement before I push the feelings part on you again, because that's funny. Or is that going to offend you?
Funny. See, I don't even want to have it finish my conversation.
Man, I said finish your thought. I said so that I could push the button on you.
Yes, I did make a comment underneath the video when you first initially dropped it earlier today. I was like, wow, he will be the next baby daddy. Well, I said the newer boyfriend would be doing the same thing to him. But after we rewatched it and we listened to it and I listened to the commentary to the gentleman on the panel, they was like, oh, she bad body and oh, she doing this. I'm like, well, shit, we really don't even know what really happened beforehand or afterhand.
The reason why I mentioned how she looks is because you said, well, how do you know he's the biological father? So then I told you,
I said biological father after the fact.
Hey Rush, man, you were supposed to let her finish out, man.
They're trying to see his kids.
And you said she looked pregnant.
Don't seem like I just was just straight body shaming her on some.
I body shamed her.
It was just a rebuttal of what you told me that he's not. How do I know that the guy's the biological father? And then I proceed to explain why.
Okay, well, I'm not. See, this wasn't me having a back and forth with you. I was just explaining to Dr. Jefferson when everybody's up here, and even with MoneyBoy, because you guys obviously Rush, you confused on the conversation too. I didn't say that until after the fact.
Why you keep saying my name like that? You got Anna?
Sir, you muted me, and you.
Ma'am, I've gotten you the fuck out of here before. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby.
You need to drop that. I need to be on my own channel because you guys are being emotional.
You want the feelings drop, baby? Hold on. I got it for you. I'm late. I was doing something else. Give me a second.
My man MoneyBoy Trey in the building. He said, hit that like or we gonna fight. Make sure you check him out.
That's not the drop I wanted. You already know that.
My bad. I can't stop it.
Not the drop I wanted.
I can't stop it once.
You and Rush been up here being emotional all.
Like, I hear feelings. So what? So what?
Look here, modern woman.
That was the drop I wanted. So, anyways, moving past everything, you guys got to talking about, oh, it's so hard to get your children because you know how much it costs to go to court and all this. I'm like, nah, it actually costs like $200. Just fill out the paperwork.
Well, you started out saying it was free. It didn't cost no money.
Well, it can.
I
It
didn't
can.
say that. I never said that. I came in when you was talking. I never
Yeah, but
said
Bet
it can be
bet
for a
100.
person
You
who
know,
goes. So a person who goes to court and they truly cannot afford the cost of court can apply for pauper. So what we call financial affidavit, financial assistance, indigent defense, in civil cases in court, and that's what child custody is about. Civil cases. Um, that's what you can do. So
exactly.
and it also pays for our services because when you're a guardian ad litem, well, in all court cases where custody is involved, they appoint a guardian ad litem, and we work with the family to be the eyes and the ears of the judge to make sure that a fair decision is made in the best interest of the child.
it's
Um,
never fair. It's never fair.
But why are you saying
so
it though? Have you ever been through that process before?
I don't know any men. I don't know it. I don't have no cousins, no uncles, or nothing.
I do know men that has been through that and has actually got custody of their children
Yeah,
through
me
the
too.
same process.
It's an anomaly.
well,
Custody
not
It
is
doesn't matter. It
I
doesn't
think
matter. It
the more
happens.
you know, the more you grow. So if you're a community that is uneducated on the process, right? The processes that are effective, you do what you know. And so if you don't know that, okay, this is how, when I can't afford it, I can afford, I can make sure I can position myself in the best way to receive, a fair verdict, then you do those things. But if you think to yourself, like, okay, well, I'm already gonna lose this fight. You know what I mean? I don't have anything that I can do. The court's automatically gonna side with her because she's the mom, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Then you're definitely gonna lose it because before you even get in the fight, your mind isn't in the right place.
And see, that's the misconception with males, period. I'm not even going to put a color on it. It's a misconception on it always. Because, like I said, I got a brother that went through it. I know a couple of other people. I have to write letters for a couple of people behind it. And it does happen. Especially, they got the
Sometimes it
dad
happens the
advocates.
second.
They got a dad's advocate program in every state.
Sometimes it happens the second or third time too. It doesn't always happen the first. We keep making
Have
it
you
seem
ever
like this
been
shit
through
is
the first
open.
process? Money Boy, let me ask you a question.
Again,
Money
I
Boy, have
know
you ever
men.
been, Money Boy, you just sat here on your own platform and said that you don't know, you don't have a cousin, a brother, or a
No,
friend that
no,
ever
no.
been
So,
through it.
ma'am,
So
no.
how can you even say something?
You misheard
Okay,
me,
I misheard
ma'am.
you. What you
Yeah,
say?
I did. Because when you asked me, have I been through it? I said no. And then you asked, did I know anybody? And I said no, sarcastically. I said, I don't have any cousins, any
Or
brothers, any
sarcastically? I don't know
friends.
what sarcastically means.
yo salute to my baby Eric.
Sarcastically means do you know someone
Yes, yes,
personally?
ma'am. I
Okay,
know
well you
I
just
know
said
several
sarcastically.
males. Yes, I know several
What what
males. And
what 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 makes somebody else's situation get you emotional?
You talking to the JOY?
yep.
Because
Yes,
I lived
ma'am.
through it. Yes, because I
You
lived
live.
through it. I've seen it. It's very heartbreaking, but then it's
It's
very
heartbreaking.
victorious at the end. So
So
that's
why
why I
would you
can't
want to
sit here
invite
and say
somebody
I
else's
can
energy
agree.
that you
I
know?
can't sit here. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, why would you want to invite somebody else's energy that you know that it brings that kind of level with it to you and apply it to yourself?
Wait, say that
If I'm
again.
saying that
Wait.
right,
Yeah, say that one more
why
time.
why why would you take on that energy from that situation if you know it carries that much weight?
Because when it
If
comes to
you already been,
because when it comes to conversation like this, I'm not going to sit up here and act like it never happened and I never lived through it and I never seen it full throttle before because I've seen it happen. So I'm not
Uh,
going to
that,
sit here and agree that a man can't never get their child because the court system won't
Nobody
allow
ever
him
said that
to.
though.
Can I just add
nah,
to
we
what?
know
Can I
all.
just to add what to what Matt said? The reason why you go through it is because your child is going to be around for many years. So there has to come a point where you have to make the decision that you're going to be in a child's life, and that is the main focus. So whether it takes 3 years or 4 years, the child's going to be a child until they're 18 years old. So you want to be a part of their life at some point.
Man, pardon my presence, I think Mad was asking her why she got so upset about a chick on a video she don't know.
No, that's not what
No,
he's asking.
he was asking if it's such a burden, why would you suggest someone else to go through that same burden? That's why I thought he asked.
You get it half right.
Because
Yeah, I don't think that was
what I heard him
mad.
asking is, why would she allow or invite that level of energy if she already know that she's going to be affected by seeing that content? Why would she, watch that content and then be emotionally
Ding,
bothered?
ding, ding.
That's what I heard. Is that
That's what I just said too.
Yeah,
No, that's not.
that is
No, it's
correct.
not a thing, ding, ding. Because I'm gonna have to watch a lot of shit.
But
on
I
the
just said
internet.
that though.
But no, okay. Can I speak for myself? So it's not inviting myself to watch that type. It was the point that we agreed to this conversation,
right?
and then when we get on, everybody is talking about something, and then it sparks an interest in my conversation, because you got to understand, I started this live with MoneyBoy. Of course, everybody else is going to come in, and I'm going to have something to say. But MoneyBoy started muting me when I started saying
Oh,
shit.
God.
No, listen, sir, listen, because supposedly.
How many times you gonna say this?
Okay, it's not. I'm not emotional behind it. It's the point that you muted me when I was having the same dialogue y'all was having, and now it's like, oh, why you mad about a woman you don't know? Well, why y'all mad about a dude y'all don't know?
So there's nothing to do with but the kids.
No, it has everything to do with it. I got muted when I was asking a question behind it. So now we've taken this from the conversation and the content that we're supposed to have about it to now we're bringing it to, oh, it's another black woman that's upset. MoneyBoy, you didn't say that after you muted me?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
she can't have a conversation with you.
Well, no,
She's just another
actually,
black woman.
Let me fall back.
I
Like,
didn't do
it's
it.
going wild right now. It's
I
not
didn't
about being black. It's just about, I'm going to be quiet right now as y'all have this, you guys have this conversation that obviously
Ma'am.
I'm not invited to anymore.
Ma'am, I
So I'm
thought
not
you
gonna
would have.
argue with you
I
guys.
thought you would have got over the entertainment portion in like a minute flat.
But you don't.
But
Did you not hear the questions that
Like,
just?
I hear feelings. So? So what? So what?
I am sorry for muting you. I apologize. I did not try to cut you.
MoneyBoy,
Can I finish my apology? I was not trying to cut you out the conversation. I was not trying to belittle you or demean you. I was trying to entertain. I apologize that my efforts fell flat, and I hope that you're able to forgive me.
Hell no, because what you said was.
Like, I hear feelings. So? So what? So what?
You apologize to a black woman publicly,
because I
and
heard
this
what
what
I heard
happens.
what Rush said. He said, "Joy, come on, let's just have an adult conversation." Your monkey ass came back and said, "See,
You
that's black women.
apologize
He
to
would
a,
never
you
be able to
apologize.
have a adult conversation with you." I'm
You
sitting there like,
can't. I
what?
just apologized to this grown woman, and
Okay,
we can't
I
move
accept it.
past it. Black women, ladies and gentlemen, black women.
Okay, black women. But you did it on live. We on the same fucking live, sir.
I just apologized to you, ma'am, and you shitted on it.
Yeah, you being sweet. Entertainment.
You shitted on my apology.
Wait, let me turn the camera on.
You just shitted on my.
Everybody. Entertainment.
You just shitted on my apology, ma'am.
Entertainment.
Are we done?
Are we done?
I think other people are tired of hearing us bicker. So yeah.
But you know what? This is a great way for to end it, because at the end of the day, that's what could have happened in that situation, and it didn't happen. So the real conversation that needs to be had is, why is it in these situations where people are finding the capacity to have sex with one another, to come together and exchange soul ties, spiritual energy, etc., and play house, right? Why is it that when they can do that, they can't come together and co-parent in effective ways that help to shape and mold those personalities that they're now responsible for? Because at the end of the day, everybody knows that sex could lead to procreation, because that's literally what sex is. It's a means to an end, and that's the end.
Because it's a power thing with women. It's about power.
Selfishness.
That's why they can't come to a mean. It's power. That lady, if you look at that lady, took enjoyment in that man hurting, not being able to see his child. She was smiling and shit.
Agreed. So how do you think she got there?
She's always been that way. She's a woman.
Probably, but he stuck his penis inside of her. So how do you think she got there?
She's a woman. She was born that way.
She wasn't born with his penis inside of her.
Oh no, not without the penis, but she was born to just manipulate and have control and be evil. It's in y'all DNA.
Yeah, but so let's go back to the basic core of understanding. How did she get there?
He gave up his power. That's pretty much what happened.
She decided to say, I'm going to keep this baby. That's how she got there.
Absolutely not. Keep on. Let's go back to the very beginning. How did she
put
get
it like this, right? Any dude that engaged in sexual activity with a woman and impregnates the woman, he loses all leverage in the United States. I'm gonna repeat this again. If you knock up a jump off, right, and she has your kid, you're done. You ain't gonna win. You might as well start.
If you knock up a jump off. So how about we go back to the very beginning of understanding of how this thing ends up even being a factor. You can't knock up a jump off if that person is not a jump off.
A jump off, yeah.
You made the choice as a man to tether your penis to a woman's vagina that led to the position that you are in. So as a man, you decided to invite that type of energy into your life.
You have to own that part.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to get you the fuck up out of here. You keep it up.
It's the only thing you can own.
Yeah, that's what led to it. In reality, men have to make better decisions. Period. Stop choosing these.
Nah. Hold on. We can't. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, it is his fault that he's dealing with the situation. Yeah, because he knocked up a jump off. But majority of the time,
hold on. What time about?
These women out there, they make the bad choices with dudes. That don't mean up the party here in the situation, you
man? Russ, you sound like you in a swimming pool.
Right.
No. Have your homeboy back, MoneyBoy. Don't throw him underneath the water now. Have his back.
Man, he got some high value 5G bad communication.
Ma'am, you know there's a time to simp and there's a time to pimp. I'm in pimp mode right now, so what do you mean? I'm not.
Yo, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you still sound like you testing underwater though. Hey, I'm not running from this conversation. You see what I just said?
No, it's about accountability. Okay, so essentially, if you're thinking about
it, women don't have accountability when they get knocked up by other dudes.
Oh, trust me, I'm 100% for accountability across the board, and I'm always on women. But the thing is, as men, you should be advising men to make better choices. So as a woman,
I am. Don't knock up these jump offs.
Productive means of behaving and, growing into mature spaces. So I do that part. I do my part 100%. But at the end of it all, the end all be all is this. A woman can't be a whore unless a man allows her to be a whore. So
Wait a minute.
wait,
Can you explain that?
Nah.
How can I allow a woman to be a hoe?
She's for the
wait
streets.
for it.
She's for the
Wait
streets,
for it.
right? She
Wait
made
for
that
it.
decision. She
Hold
made
up,
that
Russ.
decision.
Russ. Hold up,
No,
Russ. We
no.
gotta get an answer to this.
Come
Dr.
on, like
Jefferson,
wait for it. Let me get to it.
I just want to make sure I ask it for the audience. Dr. Jefferson,
Uh-huh.
how am I in charge of making a woman a hoe or not?
I'm about to let you know right now.
And that's
A
the
person
thing. They
can
don't let
only
nobody talk.
A person
Sometimes
can only do what you allow them to do. A man is the only person that can inject his penis inside of a woman. Unless that man was raped by that woman, that man, that other man, the whole neighborhood made that woman that hoe. Because at the end of the day, just because it's out there don't mean it's some takers. So if I put molded cheese in the middle of a damn expressway and everybody out here just hungry as fuck, ain't ate nothing, ain't got nothing to eat, you ain't got no money to go get it, you gonna go out there and eat that molded cheese?
But that implies the woman has no choice.
Yeah,
Which is incorrect.
That's a bad analogy. That's a bad analogy.
The same thing goes for how you feel when you decide to create a jump off. You feel like you don't have a choice because you feel like you're entitled to it as a man because you feel like that's what you do because that's man shit. Man up and understand.
If she wants to sleep around, she's going to sleep around. She can go.
Sleep around with nobody if nobody allows her to sleep with them.
She can sleep with women.
That's what Sims do.
She can't make.
Are we gonna pretend that
she can't
we
make?
Ain't got nothing to do with her being a hoe.
Sims try to control a wife of a whore. If you a whore, you a whore. That's it. You for the streets, you heard?
Yeah, she has free will. So you make it seem she has no choice.
If nobody sticks it, she can't
Hoe
be a
is life, as they say. They say hoe in his life on IG all day, every day. So they're gonna find them some money to get, whether they gotta go to Dubai and get it or not.
Yo,
that's the point.
She for the streets, man.
If no man has
public property,
it doesn't matter if she's public property.
No man is forcing her.
She's getting ran through. That's how we see it.
It's about willingness. So if a man doesn't have self-restraint, you have no control over yourself, and you decide to procreate with a person that's not positive energy, that's not willing to co-parent, that doesn't have boundaries.
That's see something like, if it looks good, you know what I mean? We gonna hit it.
But hold on.
Those situations. So thank you for representing all of the men out there in that same situation.
But hold on. If a woman gets pregnant, she has the option to get an abortion.
No.
She does.
Jumping way ahead. A woman can't get pregnant if you never had sex with her.
No, but we're talking about child support, which is when the baby is already born, right?
That's what I'm saying. So you can't get to one without getting to the other.
Okay, well, you can't conceive based on a woman not making that choice. A woman has to make that choice as well, too. It's two consensual adults.
If you didn't have sex with her, if you didn't stick your penis in her, she can't get pregnant. She can't run the risk of getting pregnant. None of that.
Well, that's her bad. She should have been more responsible than let who went up in that
You
war.
should have been more responsible. You should have been responsible.
I am responsible. I don't have kids. You know what I do? I come through. I slay them out. You heard?
So in situations like this, apparently the person.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Right? No chick is brand new. They all fucking and sucking, man. Don't waste none of these stuff, man. You heard? They all sucking and fucking, you heard?
Are you done now, Russ?
Can I say something? Dr. Jefferson, can I say something to you? And can I say something to Rush? Rush, do you
even if those are his perceptions, the reality is a woman doing her thing has nothing to do with your choice to do your thing. There are several men out here that don't have.
I knew that. That's why she's for the streets. She's public property, man. What you don't understand?
See, Russ, you doing the black women spiel. You ain't letting her get it out.
First not the black woman spill. I'm just
right.
Man, how you gonna tell me?
Hello, everybody. Hi.
At first, it was ignorant because at first when he was saying we pipping and we pipping, it was all good.
I hear feelings. So So what? So what?
George Chit
Okay,
said,
I'm gonna
"You,
let you guys. I'm gonna let you guys have your little moment. I got my own channel, so I'm gonna have. I can say what I have to say.
you know I'm
Do
pulling up,
not go
nigga.
into
You
my
know I'm
channel
pulling up.
when I go live
You are not.
about this.
You are not going to
Hello,
overtalk me, ma'am.
everybody. Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Miss Faith.
What's happening?
Hey, how everybody
We have
doing?
a guest on the panel, Money Boy's Brood.
Great. How are you?
How you doing, Miss Faith?
I'm doing
She,
fine.
she trying to
Uh,
embarrass me in front of company, Miss Face. She know I ain't having it.
okay. So I actually just came up here for a brief moment. I have been listening to you all. Everybody have different points and different views about a lot of things. Actually, I seen your upload today earlier, Money Boy, and I did come in the comment section because this happen every day, all the time, when it comes to women or baby mamas or baby dads. You find a lot of parents these days are, trying to do the best that they can for their kids. And then you have a lot of fathers that's out here that's stepping up for their kids. Now, this is the thing that I disagree when it comes to a lot of baby moms and a lot of baby fathers. They don't have boundaries. And boundaries should be set, especially when you're not together.
Yep.
Okay? If there's an issue or a problem and things cannot be solved between you or the baby mom or the baby father, whatever, that's why the court system is there. A lot of people don't think so, but it is for the best interest of both parties. Because sometimes you find a lot of women that don't want the baby daddies to come around or see their kids or have certain reasons why, because things didn't, go well with them or whatever the case may be, or he may have another woman or da 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 da. And it can be the same way when it comes to that woman as well. But at the same time, believe it or not, we have a lot of fathers that are stepping up, trying to get custody of their child and trying to do the best that they can for their child as well.
Yep.
As I continue to look at the video today, I've seen a lot of things in the video that I totally disagree with. But at the same time, I've seen where he was knocking on the door and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, why would you be knocking at the door at 6 o'clock in the morning? Just to see your son or da 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 da. But we find this going on, and it's sad, but it's happening. And we have a lot of fathers. I have to say this. We have a lot of fathers that's not seeing their children due to the fact of whatever issue. But then we have a lot of fathers that's not stepping up, that's willing to do what needs to be done for their children or their child as well. Co-parent is the best thing if you're not together. And sometimes people don't know what co-parent is. Okay. So when you're a co-parent, that means that you all are agreeing to, what I'm saying, interact with the child together or come apart in this, well, come together in this child life for the best interest for that
For the
child.
child. Yep.
Okay, for the best interest of their child. But at the same time, we find some men and we also find some women that's not at that maturity level to be co-parents, and it make it hard, and the children or a child suffer because of whatever issue between the woman or the man. So I just really want to get up, come up here to just talk about that because it's very important. Because to be honest with you, the child needs the mother and the father. Sometimes it may be different situations that may have went on and the father can't be there or the mom is not there or whatever the case may be. We can't, for a woman or women that have experience as well as men have experience, children, at a certain age, they want their daddy. At a certain age, they want their mom. And if that mom is not there or that father's not there, it's very hard to explain to that child, whether you can feel comfortable within, talking to that child. So this is the thing. How do we engage with our children or child to get them comfortable where they can understand? Or is it too early to really get into it with them so they can really understand the mom position or the father position? I think that no child should be left behind. No child should be left behind when it comes to the father being in that child or children's life, and as well as the mother. Now, I understand that there may be some drug addictions maybe going on, or you know, some abuse or whatever didn't happen, and it separates the children or the child from their parents or whatever the case may be. But our children need us today, and they need us badly.
Mhm.
And that video, it touched me. And of course, women, we are very emotional creatures. So, when something like that, or we see different things like that, it does bother us. And you don't even have to go through that or have experienced that. It just bothers us to see that you won't even let him see his child, or man, you won't let the woman see the child due to the fact of da 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 da. So when is it benefit for the child? How long has the children or child has to hurt due to the fact of the disagree or agree or can't get along or don't want my child around this person because I don't know if she's going to be fit for this child or treat my child right, and vice versa when it comes to women, because we hear a lot of that when it comes to the women. Well, I don't know who she is, and I don't want my child going to the house and things like that. But then the child miss out. So where do we go from here, gentlemen, and also women as well?
Men got to do a better job of, as Dr. Jefferson said, and I say with the 5% blame that I give men, we got to be more careful where we stick our penis.
Okay. Anything else besides sticking the penis? Anything else?
Nope.
Well,
Yeah, I definitely respect your perspective. You're not being biased. You know what I mean, on the situation, and you recognize that both parties have their pros and cons. And I like the way you explain the situation, because now you're making me understand your perspective on the situation from a woman's standpoint.
yeah, I
Thank
just
you.
want to say I agree with what you said. The most important thing is that a parenting plan is necessary, right? Because that's what creates the boundaries in the eyes of the law, and it keeps both parents in check because they have something that they have to follow, and it's something that they both have to agree to. And just based on the video that we saw, I doubt that they even had a parenting plan or they had any type of arrangement, which is why these things could happen when there's no communication. So these are the things that we have to keep in mind. There needs to be a level head of communication, a level head of understanding, and always putting the children first.
I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Pardon my presence.
What is it?
We're going to have a talk on the back end, sir. I do not approve of any of the behavior that you've exhibited tonight. And we got to put you through a training
Yeah,
video or
yeah,
something.
yeah. You kind of wild,
Now,
son. You wild.
Hey,
no, the thing.
when it comes to parenting, that to me that hits home, man. I take that to heart. I take
So
that
we got.
seriously.
The reality is this. She mentioned the court, you mentioned a parenting plan, and both of those things go out of the window without emotional maturation. Both of these people are obviously ill equipped to be parents for the
Hmm.
child involved at this stage of their development. So even if you have a parenting plan, let's just say for the sake of argument, there was a parenting plan in place. The police, simply because, and I'm speaking on this because this is what I do every day. I work in the court system. These are the cases that I see when I consult for the courts as a psychotherapist, and I'm the person that helps to create parenting plans and mediation and therapy, co-parenting seminars. This is what I do. So even if there is a parenting plan in place on this day and this parent shows up and he wants to take his kid to school and it's 6:30 in the morning, which is acceptable in several parenting plans, guess what? She still says that she doesn't want him to see the kid. He's still blocked. And that means she's still in contempt of court. But guess what? If the police show up, they're not going to do anything to her in the immediate space. What they have to then advise is that they go back to court and settle the issue with the judge. He still leaves and doesn't see his kid. None of that does anything for the emotional attachments of the child. So it goes back to the very beginning. Personal boundaries to where men hold themselves accountable on which women they choose to sleep with in the beginning, having a good foundation and understand that sex is not something you engage in lightly because you have a penis. It doesn't give you the right to just engage in sex because babies can be created, whether it's intentional or not. And at the end of the day, you have to mature on an emotional level to operate as a parent in a co-parenting situation in the first place. And one of the things that I wanted to clarify that Miss Faith mentioned, co-parenting doesn't happen with just people that are outside of one another's homes. It happens in marriages too. Co-parenting means that you come from a different background potentially than another person, that you're a different individual altogether collectively, and that you have approaches to parenting that may be very different, and as a result could potentially cause some level of friction between the two of you in the future. So it doesn't mean that that's what you had going on previously. It means that that's, what could happen, worst case scenario. And it's about proper planning. So if you plan to be a mature adult, if you plan to have proper boundaries, if you plan to not engage in unsafe sexual practices that could lead to you potentially becoming a parent, then you can find yourself parenting effectively, whether you get along with the person, whether you like the person, whether you're engaged with the person, whether you're married, whether you're not, whatever the situation is, because you have a good gauge of self
Exactly.
control.
Prevention is the cure.
Not even prevention, but self control. So boundaries. So that means, it doesn't mean that you don't engage in unsafe sex practices at all. It just means that when you do so, you're mindful enough to know what your boundaries are, and you do so with in mind thinking, okay, well, if we become parents, we've already had that conversation of, one day, do you want to become a parent? Like, what does that look like for you? What are the values that root your ideals around parenting? Having those conversations, even with people that you're not currently engaged in sex with. You want to know what a person's sex practices look like in the history of that person before you lay down with them, because it tells you how you can better gauge your interactions with that person. Because it's just way too much out here, and you're responsible for a life at that point. One of you mentioned, well, if the person hasn't been around his child, then where's the attachment? Attachment is something that happens innately in utero. So when the child is inside of the mom's womb, that's when attachment to both parent caregivers are initially formed. Her emotions teach her that this person got me pregnant, and I either hate him, or I love him. And love means secure attachments that are healthy, and that person grows up with no personality deficits that shapes personality disorders. Hate means they're going to be internally in turmoil, potentially split their personality, end up with a severe mental illness on the outset, or a personality disorder on the outset. But either way, their relationships are going to be unstable on the outset. And if you don't do the work, you end up with the results. And that's what we see in today's society. So many of these young people were born to people that were out there in the streets during the crack era, cocaine era, in the 80s, during the 70s and the 80s here. And as a result, their kids are trying to figure out where they belong, how to
Who are they? So it goes back to, do do we as adults set boundaries for ourselves? Because see, if we set boundaries for ourselves, then we're gonna set boundaries for our kids as well.
If you set boundaries for yourself, your children will innately know what their personal boundaries should be shaped around, and their attachments will be appropriate when they do form them with outside people.
Yeah, boundaries are
So
I
important.
agree. Hmm.
yeah, so your children don't first learn when you start to speak to them. They first learn when they're inside of the mom's womb, and then come out, and then during a handoff to different people. If you pay attention to the way that babies respond to people in the room that you don't like, let's say if you're at odds with your mother-in-law, right? And you just had the baby for yourself and your husband. When your mother-in-law comes in the room, inside of you, even though you're joyous with everybody else, and that baby recognizes the emotions. That's what skin to skin is for. That's why we hand off the baby to mom, and then
Hmm.
we know that the doctor doesn't
Yep.
form those attachments. So we
Yep.
want to solidify what the baby has already been curating inside of their brain, inside of their intrapsyche, as they've been shaping who their personality will be, mimicking. We want to hand them off to you so that they form those initial bonds with you. If they don't form those initial bonds with you, and they form them with the doctor, you're gonna have a rough road ahead.
Hmm.
By the time that
Yep.
child turns 4 years old, they'll be exhibiting symptoms of oppositional defiance, and then they'll get an unqualified diagnosis of ADHD, which is really DMDD, and they'll get a confirmed diagnosis of DMDD later on. But by then, they're on the conduct disorder spectrum and antisocial personality. So it's a lot
Sorry,
that goes into the shaping of a person.
sorry, doctor. What is that term after DMDD?
DMDD
DD.
is disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. So
Okay.
oftentimes people confuse it with ADHD. You hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I have ADHD, or my
Yeah.
kid was diagnosed with ADHD. If you have a child that was born and before the age 2, the two parents didn't have their stuff together,
Mm-hmm.
it's not ADHD,
Yeah.
DMDD
Conflict,
for
stuff
sure.
like that. Yeah.
Right. So it's called attachment traumas. Children solidify their initial attachments during the first 2 years of life. Most kids that are really secure in attachments solidify them by 18 months and they're good to go. So when they go out into the environment, whether you're a helicopter parent or not, they know safe and secure bonds to form with other people, outside people, and they know what's not safe. So they have healthy boundaries automatically. For the men that are on this panel right now saying, oh, well, because she out here, I'm engaging. That's the difference between a man who has a secure attachment bond and a man who doesn't, because
I
you're
did not
watching
say
the
that.
abuse that you expose yourself to when you have healthy, secure attachment bonds, because your personality is intact and your personal sense of self is intact. Those components guide and shape how you move, regardless of your environment and society. Because when you move away from your primary attachments, which is mom and dad,
Hmm.
you start to shape social relationships, and they look like what you've learned through the innate conditioning inside of you from mom and dad. And
In the home. Yeah.
exactly. And so if you go out there and you're engaging in these things and you end up with a bunch of kids by a bunch of different baby mamas that are just acting crazy and stuff like that, it's because you never learned from the way that they interacted with one another that boundaries were a necessity, because you didn't have that structure.
I
It's
agree.
facts.
I agree.
Facts. Where's the funk flex bomb?
Um,
Well, my man MoneyBoy Trey in the building. He said, hit that like or we gon' fight. Make sure you check him out on YouTube.
That'll do too.
Mm.
Well, no, it's about basically healthy self-regulation. I think that this climate of people, these young people, yeah, just kind of jump into whatever is available.
I
yeah,
agree with that.
sexual discipline is definitely needed.
Hmm. Wow. Good conversation. Great panel. Money Boy, it's always a pleasure coming on your panel. I think this is my first time coming on your panel. Shall I
No, it
say
is
it?
not.
Yes, it is. I've been on
No,
your
it's
panel.
no. You've been over here several times, Mr. Faith. It's just
Oh,
been a
I thought
minute.
it was. Oh, well, maybe so.
You've
I
been
thought it was
acting
on
funny.
Joy.
You've been
It's,
acting funny. It's
you
I
know,
don't got no tractor like Kwame Brown, so folks just don't fool with me.
well, listen, it's always a pleasure. Your panel, Joy panel, great conversation, much needed. in the community. We did share this live out so other people will be able to get a chance to hear as well. Okay. So I just wanted to come up here just a moment and, you know, just give some lightning on a lot of situations that a lot of people may not take in consideration. But the child is mostly, you know, my concern is making sure the safe environment and stuff like that. My daughter always say that I'm too protected of my grandbabies because I have one grandbaby that regardless of what the daddy do, he just don't want to go over there. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on for a minute. And it takes me back to me start asking questions, which he's a good father. He take care of all his kids, ain't never been up for child support. He got, baby moms as well. They get along and everything. It's just him being so connected to my daughter. And I said sometimes, we have to understand that he's young and he loves his mom. But we don't want to take that opportunity from the father as well. We want to give him an opportunity to spend time with him and all that, even though he's a mama boy. But still, me being a grandmother, I just, I had that protection thing there. I would just want to make sure he's okay. And I know for a fact that he's okay. I know for a fact that he's well taken care of by both parents. But then you have to understand that by you being the grandmother, we have to stay in our lane as well. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's always boundaries that we have to set, for us being adults and also for our kids. One thing about it for their health and also to secure them as well. So them being around positive environment or whatever the case may be should be our number one thing when it comes to kids, period.
And it has
Yep.
to be an authentically positive environment, because the one thing that I notice causes the most distress in children and young people that are threatening suicide in some of these psychiatric facilities is that they'll say that, well, everything looks good on the outside, but I know that they really don't like each other. And it kills me when parents are like, oh, well, my kids are 6 and 7. You'd be surprised what they draw, what they show, and what they discuss in therapy. And so
Exactly.
and their actions are acting out what the system really looks like. So there is nothing that we don't really see.
Yeah.
So
Kids are intuitive.
yeah, playing the part, kids are connected to the emotions of the mom up until age 12. Hear me when I say that.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
if your child acting as if they don't want to leave mom and they don't want to go with dad, you have to ask the question of, what am I feeling in my heart towards that? That resentment is passed on to the
To
child, and
child.
they don't even know that's there or why it's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
takes us to filter it out to
Okay.
identify
If I could add, a lot of times, and the mothers may not realize that, but the child sees the father through the eyes of the mother. So
what
if
the experience. You're right. You're right. Through the
correct,
experience of the
through the
mother on the
experience.
inside. Yeah.
So it's important, and a lot of mothers don't want to do this, but it's important that the mother praises the father and shows a level of affection or respect to the father, because at the end of the day, you want the child to exhibit that as well too, right? And a lot of times, if the mother does not show that, then there comes resentment. You have issues where the child doesn't want to spend time with the father, and the father is a good father. The father might not even realize what's going on, and that could create issues like parental alienation. So there's many different things that could come from just the conflict between the two parents, right? So it's important that the parents understand that all the interactions that you have, the children are watching.
Well, I think to go to that point and to clarify, it has to be authentic. So the thing is, praises if a mom praises the father on the outset, but her emotions, because like I told you, it's not what you say to a child.
It's
Okay.
behavior. Behavior.
Age 12, it's what you feel, not the
Feel is what you feel.
it's what
Mm-hmm.
you feel. Because when I tell you they're tethered to your emotions, you never have to say anything. They don't have to see. And a lot of parents do this whole silent argument thing, like where they are doing this dance where kids have never seen them argue, and that's supposed to be a healthy thing. And then you wonder why your kid is using substances and suicidal at age 13, because they're trying to deal with this overwhelming influx of ideals that shape the reactive attachment they have with the other parent because of you and what you felt but never said anything about. And this happens every day in married couples. People are married, but they say that they're together for the sake of the kids,
Child, yeah.
and they think that it's a healthy thing because like they behave well, they eat dinners together, they go on family trips together, they provide what the child needs. The kid doesn't need for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not, because on the inside of you, that child is connected to those emotions that really hate that other parent. So that's when they start to feel very much disconnected and not quite sure how to behave, not only with the other parent, but I talked about attachment. So when they start to form relationships with other people, like I talked earlier, and I did that segment on people who are struggling with borderline personality disorder, that's where they come from.
Right, right,
They come
right.
from those systems where somebody faked the funk basically to keep the
Mm-hmm.
system together and going. And so that's the reason they feel like if they don't play the part, if they don't act out, if they don't try, suicide, then people aren't going to stay with them. They need something to keep them tethered to their relationships, because whether it's perceived or actual, they always feel like they're at risk of losing their relationship because those two parents played that dance on the outside, but on the inside, it was something very different going on.
So let me ask you a question. Clearly, what you're saying is that it's not always helpful to stay together. So can you explain the best way to separate to make sure that's a positive separation?
So it's never the best thing in the interest of the kid to stay in the situation where it's toxic or you no longer want to be there. And so the best way to separate is, like I talked about earlier, establishing healthy boundaries. At the very beginning of your relationship, I always recommend people go to couples therapy. And people are like, we don't need therapy, we're happy. But premarital counseling and couples therapy is a very healthy way for you to really
Yes.
determine whether or not you're really in alignment with somebody that
Mm-hmm.
can share and add value to your life. And so when you do that, we talk about all those things. We talk about and we explore every single facet of life that we know will one day have an impact on the potential lives that you may embark upon creating one day. Because it's meant to help you understand what separation will look like before you even get there. So when you get there, separation isn't so difficult. And if you never get there, you got there because you know what it took to get there. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, you got to a place of stability because you knew what it took to not separate.
Mhm.
Doctor, I have a
Respect one
question.
another's boundaries.
And it goes back to accountability.
Exactly.
I had a quick question. Can you define like the traits of a borderline personality?
I just did a whole show. Trey shared the link.
Oh, did he?
Um,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I did a whole show. It takes a while, but there are 9 characteristics that we use to classify borderline personality disorder. However, I'll briefly go over them. I'll just name them, and then you can kind of see the intricacies of what they look like on a more intimate level when you view the show.
Perfect.
But basically, people with borderline personality disorder, the characteristic that stands out that separates it from the rest of the personality disorder, because we do have 10 in the DSM, and that's the manual that we use to classify mental disorders. But the main thing is that they are very insecure in their relationships with other people. So all of their attachments are insecure. So when I talked about attachment, the reactive attachment with a father, that's what kind of shapes it, or another trauma, attachment trauma or sexual abuse trauma from a parent or caregiver.
Okay.
But those people typically move into relationships with the mindset that they could lose the relationships that they're entering into in every domain of life. So it could be work, could be school, could be intimate partner relationships, could be friends, all of that. Every person that you've ever come in contact with in your life, you start to naturally just think in your mind, like, okay, I could lose this relationship. This person may not be valuing me. That's one of the characteristics. And then another characteristics is self injury. So continuously finding ways to hurt yourself. So it could be substance use, it could be gambling, because another one of the characteristics is impulsivity. because it's all on a continuum. It's a cycle. So one thing leads to the other thing, leads to the other thing. Very, very high hypersensitivity. So these people could overreact to a situation that doesn't really call for a whole lot. What do they say on 10? They
Right.
just automatically level up out of nowhere. And when I say that these are patterns of behaviors that happen in borderline personality, what makes it different than people that struggle with mood disorders is that these are things that could happen all in 5 minutes. Like they can go from hot to cold. I'm really happy to really, really angry. And when I'm really, really angry, it could go from me being verbally abusive to now I'm physically abusive over the amount of minutes. And then because I'm sorry afterwards, now I feel empty on the inside, which is another symptom. You feel empty, you feel like you're a bad person, start internalizing, and as a result, the self-injury starts, right? And then they constantly are doing the self-injury or threatening self-injury to get the attention of people so they can keep the relationships that they feel could possibly be at risk of being lost.
Is it
Right?
often misdiagnosed at first?
Borderline personality is one that is
Sounds kind of tricky to find,
not
by the way.
it's not misdiagnosed often. Well, it's not it we don't misdiagnose using it. It's normally labeled as DID because when the most severe symptom is the last symptom is when people when they've spiraled, they've had this for a very, very long time, had to deal with it for a long time, and then they end up in a place where they see and hear things that are not there. So they start to create delusions of negative thoughts and negative events. And so they may hear something saying, "Oh, well, you ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit." Like these are the types of things that I hear patients tell me when I'm assessing, and constantly they're like, when they start hearing that, they never hear the command hallucinations, right, auditorily, but they hear so much negative thoughts inside of their mind that they start doing things that are risky. They go back to the impulse behavior, the drug use, to numb. They go back to spending heavily off impulse, and then once they spend all their money, then how are they going to get back home? They end up in a place where they don't know and can't find the means to get back home and things like that. But the idea is that one feature is more psychotic in presentation. And so as a result, because bipolar disorder is on a continuum between mood disorders and psychotic disorders, when you put that goal directed behavior and the impulse control issue, and you add that psychotic feature, and you add that feeling of emptiness and feeling low, and then all of a sudden feeling very expansive and inflated and happy all the time. If you add those together, it starts looking like bipolar disorder real quick. So the biggest indicator I tell people is to understand how these things and what's the time span. If these things are happening over minutes to hours in a day, all of those things, right? So at least 5 of the symptoms have to present in order for us to make an official confirmed diagnosis. And most of them have a history of trauma, and that's the indicator. If these happen like within the course of 5 minutes to an hour, all of those things, and they don't signify what norm criteria behavior looks like for that person over the course of most days of a full week, then it's not bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is something that goal directed activity has to last for about 3 to 5 days.
Because I'm bipolar, by the way. Just
So if you're goal directed for that length of time, then yeah, it's bipolar disorder. But if not, it could definitely be borderline personality disorder, because a lot of people misdiagnose borderline personality disorder as bipolar disorder, and that's quite dangerous, because even though
what you're describing sounds like the extreme downside of being bipolar.
It is.
Really bad.
It is. It's quite volatile. It is. And that's the reason it's such a sensitive. It's a sensitive personality disorder to treat, because if it's misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder, the treatment that we use for bipolar disorder, the antipsychotic medications and antidepressant medications that we use to treat, can exacerbate the symptoms and cause a person to spiral into more like schizophrenic episodes. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's difficult to treat because, like I said, they can co-occur, but that approach is one that is not easy. Like the ones of us that specialize in treating personality disorders and depressive disorders and co-occurring and substance use disorders, it's not for the faint at heart. I'm just gonna put it like that.
I have a question, Doctor, while I'm up here. I'm going through this class right now, and I engage a lot with my grandbabies or whatever for its writing, coloring, doing a lot of things with them, talking to them, making sure that they're okay in school, or, we don't allow them to go around a lot of people or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I had no idea that children stress as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of parents may not took that in consideration of sometime when they see their mom or their dad going through some things or whatever, or they don't want to be bothered right now because they, upset about something or whatever the case may be. I didn't know that kids stress, but I'm learning a lot of things going through this class though. But can you give me a little bit information about the stress thing? Because I didn't even know our children stress like that.
So just like I just talked about, the attachments being solidified from the primary caregiver of the mom and the father, typically, so those are emotional components, right? That's why when I was going to finish answering the question, I think it was part of my presence, asked the question about the separation component.
Yeah.
But these two will tie in together because like kids before age, that's why I mentioned the age 12. Kids before age 12 internalize. So from 11 and beyond and younger, because their brains are not, the human brain is not capable of some serious complex algorithms of breaking things down, right? And thinking on a more complex level, right? They internalize when their parents separate. They internalize when their parents are upset because their emotions are still tethered to the parent caregiver. And so they don't know that this is what's happening. When they start feeling sad all of a sudden, they just know that the sadness is appropriate because it's appropriate to the caregiver that feels that emotion. So the difference in a child and that parent is because it's misplaced emotions. They're now trying to figure out the best way because they know that eventually they start to tie it into what they see in the parent, right? And so now they're trying to appease the parent. So when they don't know how to approach or appease the parent, or they've been kind of brushed off, or the parent has given them, the covert message that, hey, I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the overt message is something different, and they can feel that thing. It makes them very confused, and then they internalize and they become even more stressed out and depressed. And so the best thing to do is to teach parents how to be more authentic in their experiences with their children, especially up to that age.
Right.
Because parents have to learn how to have healthy fights, because that's the reason that these people don't know how to have effective arguments right now. You know what I mean? When you say that you've never seen your parents fight, Gabe mentioned that. That's not normal human behavior. Period.
Thought so.
It's not. And I think that people know that because essentially everybody has a difference of opinions, and being individuals is a healthy component to being collectively one in a relationship.
Well, I've seen disagreements, but they've never like raised their voice at each other or anything like that.
Right. So you can have fights and not have to raise your voice. Right. Like you can have, so arguments in a courtroom are still arguments because it's a difference of opinion presenting to the table. And essentially you walk away with a greater level of understanding from two different sides, and or agreeing to disagree, and or agreeing to come back to the conversation when things calm down, if they do become escalated at some point. But fights have to be healthy and they have to be had in order for kids to have that question lingering. Mom, are you mad with dad?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? What dad do? Or dad, are you mad with mom? What she do? So that they can get the explanation to suit, that's suitable for those emotions that they have. Because they have those emotions that you guys are conveying verbally too. You
Right.
saying it's already inside of them. So when you make a decision to separate, you have to do so very carefully around that age, because that's where those healthy arguments, those healthy discussions, and what I call family team meetings, you have to kind of get in a pattern of doing that, because otherwise you're ill-equipping your kid to go out into the world and form relations.
Yep. And if they don't see arguments, that they're not going to learn how to resolve conflict, and
Exactly.
that's a big issue, especially when
Yeah.
they
Ding,
become
ding, ding, ding.
teenagers.
Can
Are
I
you
step in for
watching?
2 seconds? Can I
I
step
just
in
want
for
to
two
ask,
seconds?
are you watching YouTube in the background, Dr. Jefferson?
No.
Okay, it could just be my headphones. Never mind.
I just want to step in for 2 seconds about the children and adults. I'm sorry, you guys. What we have to understand as adults and when we around children, we sometimes think that they don't hear or understand English or Spanish or any language they are adapted to. So when we're talking to children, we assume that they don't hear or see or the body language that we're doing. So when they take it outside, they don't get it. As an educator, I see it all the time, especially when they in play. You got to observe a child's play. When the child is playing, they are mimicking what an adult is doing all the time. They on the phone, like, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" And that's in this new day and age. Back in the day, you probably wouldn't even notice that at first. They in the kitchen, they cooking up some food. They might be doing something different, but you got to understand that they hear everything that we're doing. That's why everybody be like, "Oh, they don't understand what we're talking about." A child understands everything. I don't care if they 6 months to 1 years old. They understand everything that we're doing. I just wanted to step in and say that because I hear what you guys are saying, but I was just like, oh wow. It's just
Yeah,
the
kids are quite
Kids,
impressionable, and they may not necessarily understand it, but they definitely will mimic what they see, and their interpretation may not be the exact same as what it actually is. Um, and you're right. That's one of the reasons play therapy is so effective with kids, because our observations lead to questions
mhm.
about what things mean for them. And what we find is that oftentimes, as an adult, you can interpret certain behaviors in their play as one way, but their ideals around these things are completely different. But they do mimic what they've seen directly or indirectly.
And
So
I was gonna say to Gabe because he said, what if the parent they're not arguing out loud? I have children that's deaf, and that's really different when you have the kids that's parents that's both the parents are deaf, but the children can hear.
Mm-hmm.
That it's the same atmosphere for them. That's the same with somebody with a child that has parents that can speak. It's the same thing.
mhm.
Nothing different.
It's just the other way around.
It's just yes. So all that when you say this, like it's quiet. What if they're not arguing out loud? It doesn't matter. They're looking at the hand gestures. They understanding what's going on. It's the body language behind all of that. Children pick up on body language. That's why they say when you teach a child a second language early, they get it faster than what if I try to do a different language at my age? I'll probably be sitting here like, let me get real, I don't understand. It's because they picked up on all of that.
That's why it's very important to engage with your child or children. And if you do, you will be surprised what they know or what they think or what they have seen. And you got to be, you know what I'm saying? We monitor, our grandbabies, when they looking at TV or movies or, we monitor all of that because they so easy to pick up on things. Okay. And a lot of times people don't engage with their kids to really find out how they feeling, what's going on, are they okay? You know what I'm saying? Is there something that you need to tell me? Do you want to express yourself? Da 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 da. It's a lot of times that people don't engage with their kids and their kids find other things to do. Now we think about a long time ago, we used to just go outside and play da 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 and come back in the house. But now it's so much technology that parents hurry up and give kids the little laptops or whatever to keep them occupied or whatever the case may be. Started engaging with them, sitting down with them, you know what I'm saying, teaching them or asking them questions about things that they have learned or whatever the case may be. The stress part, as I'm going through this class, I'm beginning to understand a lot of things when it comes to kids and how they feel and how they think. And just like she said, you would be surprised, what our kids see or heard or what they see us do. And I was just that stress that just kept pointing out to me for some reason about, and it goes back to, what you were saying about the feelings and being attached and things like that. But that stress part right there, I didn't have no idea that kids actually stress. So that
Yeah.
kind of shocked me. That kind of shocked me. But I understand, from y'all point of view of things that y'all was explaining, but I had no idea. So it goes back to kids' feelings and how they feel and what they think and stuff like that. And we'll be surprised what they encounter.
And you'd be surprised by how parents making a conscientious choice to just mature, right? Just making that decision, regardless of where the other parent is, to just mature to a different emotional space, how much difference that makes on the behaviors and the outcomes for children, because that's really what's at the root of the vast majority of most of the severe mental illnesses right now.
Mm,
Literally.
mm,
And I
mm,
mean,
mm.
I'm in Atlanta. I service a couple of other states, but in Atlanta, when we see these kids coming in for 1013s, where other practitioners have, you know, um, placed them on involuntary hold for observation, psychiatric observation, when we start kind of doing the work, you see that it's really not the children. They are the identified patients, sure, but there's just so much distress in their system in the way that the parents behave with one another, have behaved in the past with one another, a significant degree of emotional trauma where parents really think they have it all together. It's like, oh, this kid has wanted for nothing, and I've done all this by myself. That's the first indicator. If you're
Mm,
raising your kid by
by
yourself,
yourself. Yeah.
there is another parent that is living, breathing well, right? Or even one that has passed away that you could honor and keep the memory alive so that the child is emotionally balanced and well, and you're not doing that, that's the problem. You're the
Hmm.
problem. So
Hmm.
I think parents have to make a conscientious decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to grow up today. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I agree. I agree.
What's a 1013, doctor?
That's an involuntary hospitalization. That's when we make the decision that based on our clinical observations and information reported by outside parties most of the time that a person is a potential threat to themselves or the environment, and so as a result we want to observe them for 72-hour period, and then after a 72-hour period, if we come back and we do another assessment and we see that, okay, you know what, they're still in a place of crisis or high stress, and that means that they're either experiencing auditory or visual hallucinations, they're severely depressed, and the depression leads to hopelessness and suicidal
So
ideology,
bad.
homicidal
Mm-hmm.
ideology.
Okay.
um,
Mm-hmm.
those are what kind of justify that 1013. We go ahead and we, sign the order, and then the hospital will keep them there, or we'll find an alternative placement in a psychiatric facility or crisis stabilization facility for that length of time. And if we come back, like I said, at the end of the 72 hours and they still aren't balanced, then we move it to a 1014 or 2014 if it's substance abuse involved, but then they're
Okay.
there for 7 days, so we can continue to extend it.
You mentioned it earlier, but I wonder if you could just elaborate on it more. You discussed how a lot of times there's a misdiagnosis between ADHD and DMDD. Are you able to go into that more further as far as why it's always, not always, but why it's misdiagnosed often?
Because essentially, if you look at every single diagnosis in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of mental disorders, the key all of the symptoms are very, very similar, right? But each disorder has its own key indicator, or what we call differential diagnosing. Oftentimes, clinicians are newer in the field, or they've been in the field for so long working from an outdated or inundated manual that they just kind of go with the first thing that they know. And gonna say this, and yeah, it's definitely gonna piss a therapist off, but I say, I call a spade a spade. They go with the thing they know insurance is gonna pay. And then
Wow.
times that's what they go with, because that's the one thing that insurance is going to pay out every single time without sufficient evidence: ADHD. um and they don't do a clear history taking of trauma in the family, and how the child is behaving in all different domains and things, because it's not really required. So they give that ADHD diagnosis or an adjustment disorder diagnosis real quick, because they just know the insurance is going to pay. That's the reason
Wow.
behind it.
And schools get the funding as well too.
Yep, they do.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not only schools, but that's a whole nother conversation. It's a lot to do
It's a
with the
lot.
component behind it. I don't approve of that. That's something that, for me, the clinicians I train and provide supervision for, we're not with that. I'm about taking the full, because the reality is this: if you put amphetamines into the brain of a child, that's a whole different conversation we're having.
While the brain's still
I agree
developing.
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brain is always, I know that you guys have the impression that your brain isn't. The brain is always still constantly evolving. Even the male brain. Now, the male brain slows down so much that you can barely track neuroplasticity past the age of 30, 35. And the female's brain continues to expand on a whole nother level. Just because with females, they tend to use more of their brain's capacity over a lifespan. Females are more willing to go back to school, learn something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Or learn to manipulate.
Yeah, that too. I mean, but males do that too. That's
Yeah.
a that's a
Vice versa.
that's a basic trait of human beings. but the thing is, with guys have a tendency, and if you think about gender roles, and I know that in this society where this is where it's such a huge conversation around, there shouldn't be gender roles, women and men are equal and all that extra stuff, but men are naturally geared up to provide and protect, in their natural mechanism of their composition intrapsyche. It's like they're going to find a position that gives them stability, and once they find stability, they're going to maximize their outcome in that position. That's how a man is set up, because a woman is not set up that way, and she's set up to be a resource finder and constantly
Mm-hmm.
move and position herself in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
because she has to do that in order to be the person that is the cultivator of families, the cultivator.
Exactly.
And so the reason that she naturally does that is because that's how she's naturally
Mm-hmm.
created, and that's what she's naturally created to do. And so it goes back to basic understanding of human behavior and personality shaping and that kind of stuff. It's not about nurture per se. It's in their nature basically. But now the science proves it. So, but that's what it is. Amphetamines can limit neuroplasticity, lead to psychotic features, aggressive behaviors, and it's a lot.
Psychosis, stuff like that. You know what I always wonder, because you always hear those stories about young children committing suicide, like 6, 7, 8, and a lot of times they're black children as well too. You hear about those stories, but they never actually say whether or not they were on medication, uh, whether they had like a psychotic episode, or suffer from psychosis, which a lot of those drugs, one of their side effects is
Yeah.
psychosis, right?
Psychosis and suicidal ideation.
Suicide too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I don't understand how a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old even knows how to commit suicide, right? So it's beyond me to to understand how that can even be a thought of someone that young.
It's literally what I explained, the attachment between mom, dad, that's what's in the kid. The confusion where that's not explained, or they're behaving in ways that don't align with what the kid knows is there, typically can lead to that. And in the kids that we've noticed that have committed suicide, it's about a 23%. I think it's 23% on the study that was released 2 years ago, on PsychNet. 23% were on some type of psychotropic medication, so either a stimulant or amphetamines. And the thing is, they're trying to move away from amphetamines for treating ADHD right now. And to be honest with you, there is a lot that says they need to be moving towards a more stricter guideline around accepting that diagnosis. But it is what it is. I just I do what I do. My hand is in enough pots. But so I think that that's the correct answer. When I think what needs to happen is a greater level of competence, more training on diagnosing, and a better understanding, because the show that I have planned next is going to address some of the fallacious claims by Dr. Umar about what has been removed, and without what he says sufficient evidence.
What about thymus personality disorder? Are you going to address that?
Believe it or not, when I talked about borderline personality disorder, that's one of the key indicators. So you talk about I talked about self injury, but really limited. Self injury can look like substance abuse. It can look like unsafe sex practices. It could look like cutting. It could look like taking a bunch of pills today to get the attention of a person that you're trying to keep in a relationship with you. It could look like a lot of things. So when you find people, because they're impulsive, I told you that, right? So they're impulsive, and one of the key indicators is how they go from hot to cold in these moods. Literally, the emotional instability is oftentimes they're engaged in sex where the sex is great and they're very, very happy. And then as soon as they're done having sex with you, they're arguing with you and they're extremely angry and they're jealous. And all of a sudden they start having these delusions that you're texting somebody while you're on top of them. It's a lot. It's a lot. Look, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I've heard it all. I've heard it all.
Women, man, women.
You think the women are something? Wait, I sit in the room with the men too.
That's hogwash. Men are perfect.
Like it's a whole thing. It is. Like, wow, you have a really active relationship.
Dr. Moneyboy, what was that term you used? Thoughtiness?
I can't take credit for that. That's Umar's diagnosis. He calls it thoughtish personality disorder. He says it's where they get multiple trains ran on them, they do multiple head jobs. This is what Umar said.
Verbatim.
Thoughtish personality disorder.
I diagnosed mad sex just like that,
Sounds about right.
So you have to address that part when you do your Umar I want part of it. I don't like Umar.
Yeah, I wanted on that too.
Yeah, that that the video that was sent to me by my viewer asking me to do that and to do that one, and then I had another one that I pulled up and I saw today. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'll do the video because
Oh yeah, he's a character.
it's all about accountability for me, and especially when you're doing harm in the community, people need help. This is a very sensitive time for a lot of folks. It's a lot going on right now. Suicide numbers are at an alarming rate. When I say alarming rate, we jumped from 21% of what our number it was 3 years ago. About 300% increase, just all of a sudden. Okay, between people from ages 13 to 26. So if you pair that in with the people that are calling Kevin Samuel's show, and as a result, having their heart broken by Kevin Samuels after having their life just let down by Derek Jackson, because these people have been they
Yo, come on.
What's going on?
I know you ain't using that for
These,
that.
What's going
wait a
on?
minute.
Yo,
What happened? What
These
happened?
women going to
these are
all these men. What's wrong with
look,
them?
let me tell you, this is a reality. I'm looking at the reports of inpatient hospitalization here. So I know what their primary reports. I know exactly what these people are coming in here saying.
They're blaming it
Kevin
on these
Samuels.
internet niggas.
It's not even blaming it. It's just finding the reasons that they found themselves in spaces where they realized that their life wasn't worth living. They realized that maybe they shouldn't be here after all. So
Maybe
these
they should
are
cut the
serious
TV
issues.
off.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The fact that social comparison is a component that really does shape negative behaviors in people and negative
Yeah.
perception in people, and that these people, these children, are so impressionable.
Yep. Social media.
Exactly. That's the problem.
That's all they know.
So it's not about the people. People have been saying mean things for ages. Literally. Literally. Like nobody cares what you have to say. It's it's about when you weight the opinions of these strange people that you really don't even know and they really don't even know you so far above your own sense of self to where you now want to end your life because of what they said. That's a problem. That's you become a problem.
So, Doc, let me ask you a question because a few of us have children that are going to be growing up in this era.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, especially at our age, right? How you can't teach young kids the old school methods because they won't be able to relate to it in the times that they're living in. So how do you
And they
prepare
don't
them?
subscribe to it either.
How do you prepare them to survive in this era with all of the pitfalls that they have to deal with?
So I don't think it's about teaching the old school principles because I think that my parenting styles have been pretty adaptive. I have kids that are as old as 31, and my youngest child is Michael will be
31.
6 on Friday.
Yo, how old are you?
31.
Don't worry about that. Mind your business.
You're not supposed to ask a lady her
Yeah, that's
age,
so rude.
Hot
but
damn.
apparently you can
Yo,
ask
you
them
ain't
their weight
16?
and dress size,
Who
according to
raised
Kevin Samuels.
who
Hot,
raised y'all? Wait a minute. Where's
hot.
your mama? Let me get your mother's phone number.
We don't do mama's cooking around here. We do daddy's grilling.
but but no, like I think it's about adapting your parenting styles appropriately, and then also you have to be a really receptive parent. That's the one thing that for me and my kids were, they were kind of raised everywhere. So some of them were raised in Europe because I've traveled a lot. I was a medical doctor first before I retired, then transitioned to psychotherapist. So they've had that military life, structured life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my older kids are very, very different than the personalities and the way that my younger kids behave in general. However, there is one thing that's congruent. You know, everybody is really, really expressive. They're huge communicators and they feel a great sense of self simply because for me as a parent, it's about experiencing what it's like to be in their world, just kind of being curious and helping to shape and cultivate what they bring to me because they feel comfortable enough to do that.
Okay.
So you have to be curious and you have to be very, very careful to manage your emotions in this
Yep.
day.
Yep.
These kids, I'm not gonna lie,
Trust me.
they'll make you want to throw some hands with some little kids. Like, what's wrong? What? You did what? What?
Yep.
They mom didn't do nothing. These black kids, what's wrong with you? So, but no, it's like, you know, you really have to be prepared to hear any and everything and then manage your emotions well enough for you to kind of advise them from a place of understanding not only how the culture operates here, but also the legality. So the ins and outs of problem resolution in the best way that's suitable for their situation, you know?
Okay. So never the father knows best type of thing, but try to find out how they can have the voice heard as far as what they're dealing with.
Yeah, because the realities are you may be definitely an expert. Like I tell my patients when they come into therapy, like I am an expert in the process. You want to heal, I can help you get there. You want to know more about your condition, I can help you with that too. You want to move into a place of autonomy, gotcha. However, when it comes to your experiences, you're the expert in your experience. I need the information and I have to have the truth to be able to operate from a place, you know, where I'm effective and I'm competent in treating you. So it's about being there and providing, facilitating space for them to come clean about what it is they're experiencing in the day to day. And kind of like, what's your thought? You know, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking about doing? Okay, well, let's navigate what happens if you do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Teaching them critical thinking skills because, like, my 6-year-old now, granted, the kid's really smart. You know what I mean? He can have a conversation with adults. We were at a funeral over the weekend yesterday, and he's sitting at the table with the adults, having an entire conversation about engines, cars, which muscle car, you know, what kind of engine needs to go in, like literally, and he knows what he's talking about. So people around there listening, they're like, where he get all this stuff from? I'm like, dude, YouTube, I don't know. He's interested in what he's interested in.
But when you ask him what's the fastest way to get some tractor tires off,
telling you.
That's like,
I see what you did there, Mad Medicine. Fuck Kwame Brown.
But yeah, so I think that the more curious you are, the more they grow because they feel validated with your curiosity being the component that's helping to shape where they're going.
Going into their world.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to their relationships. Because these kids are toxic. I'm not going to lie. Like my 18-year-old, he was telling me, you know, he was just like, and I never forget, he's the first kid I've had that engaged in sex early before high school was over. Because my sons are absurd. They're like, we're not having sex with American women. So when I brought them to America, all bets were off.
They're missing out.
You know, for them, you know, when he came to me, he was probably like, what, 16? Yeah, 16. He was just like, well, yeah, you know, what's the thing? Like, we don't have sex with girlfriends and things like that anymore. Like, we just do friends, so it's no feelings. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
He been listening to Moneybag Yo.
How does that work? How does that work? Look, I was just really curious. And you know, he and his friends, they started explaining it to me. You know, it's like 6 of them. And I'm standing there like the student. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting.
So sex with our emotions, what they're saying.
right,
or attachments.
to avoid depression, because like there is this whole wave of suicidal ideation that went through about what 4 years for 4 years straight about 2 years ago. Increase in high school students, male high school students taking their life, female high school students taking their lives or attempting suicide due to emotional bullying. Yeah. The whole thing.
But that's been going on for a long time, though. I guess the numbers
not the suicide.
Go a little bit higher.
Yeah, not the suicide numbers being so high though. Like, so kids, emotional bullying is when, God, I hate to even put it out there, but it is what it is, right? But so the emotional bullying is when like the guys and the girls have like the pact with their friends to go and, you know, have sex or go on, you know, a situation, a date or something with the person, but just for the sake of a dare and stuff like that. And then they take pictures and post it in a little group chat to prove it. And then, you know, everybody knows about it afterwards. Then they're basically getting bullied after that. You know what I mean?
That's a little. Still,
yeah,
he was having like maybe 2 or 3 a year. And this was like 1993, 94 and shit. You know? And it was just coming off of breakups and mostly white people, you know. Like, they can handle the breakup and stuff like that. And next thing you know, they done shot themselves in the head and shit like that. And these were teenagers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the 3-hour mark. I'm sleepy as hell. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Thank you, Doctor.
UA Black.
No
Thank
problem.
everyone for coming up and joining. As always, you people are all welcome anytime I go live, and I'm pulling up whenever any of y'all are live.
Well, I didn't feel welcome. I want to say that. And then also, I got to say that Kevin Samuels earlier today, I tried.
How you didn't feel welcome?
You have to give credit for trying. Wait, let me tell you what Kevin Samuels said. Kevin Samuels said that if we don't get this thing up to 7,000 likes in the next minute, then we're gonna go in a permanent intermission. I was like, what?
He was lying. Yeah, he does. He'll play music and stuff, but he lying. He's bluffing because if everybody leave, he gonna cry.
Right.
There goes money for the night. He bluffing.
No, he gets the likes though.
No, he does, but he's bluffing.
He gets crazy views, man. Come on.
He bluffing. Now he been dipping lately. People are starting to bore of him. You're gonna have to, do a lot of things.
He's toned it down.
You should beef with Kevin Samuels, man, because you stay hating on him, man.
Who, me?
Who, me?
Nah, I'm talking. Yeah, Doc.
I hate on him. I ain't even started on him yet.
Doc, we gonna do this. We'll do Rush. We'll do this show tomorrow. Don't answer that, Doc. We'll do that show tomorrow. I'm finna go to sleep. I'll holler you people later.
Right.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating.
Affiliated, raised with the killer. Way before Facebook and Twitter. Bad guy feel like the realer. The land of odds feel like the wizard. Met a chick, say her name Crystal. Booty big, soft as some tissue. Corporated, started from a dealer. Steel curtain just like the Steelers. I'm in traffic doing what I want. Promoters calling way from Arizona. Couple more come from Oklahoma. Pockets bigger, you can say they grown up. Own pistol, never need a loaner. Own clientele, I've been a corner. rapper. Willie Nelson, guess I've been a stoner, these rappers fake. Bart since a homo. Saddle up, but we ain't ride horses. Designer shoes, but still rockin' forces. In the trap, we never had choices. I'm paranoid, I think I'm hearing voices. Seeing what I say, I'm paying portions. No matter what, you never can afford it. I'm the shit, I think I need a toilet. Out of sandwich bags, I guess I gotta foil it.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Hotline, my phone stay ringing. 4 grand iced out my pink. Too loud, smoking gas, no secret. I fought a loop, late night creeping. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. Party all night, ain't no sleep. Money up, I'm good, I'm eating. Red bone from the back, I'm beating. She calling out my name like the weekend. Dripping sauce, steady nutrients. Hopping out, feeling coupish. Drop the top, I don't know where the roof is. I stay in exclusive, Punta Cana resort all inclusive. I don't want that little bitch, she a nuisance. Burn her brain, drop her off, throw them deuces. Golden State, all my niggas some shooters. 50 cat F&M and them Rugers. Told her package, I'm flexing, let's Luger. On the prowl for some milk for some cougars. 12 inches, they calling me ruler. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick her down when I'm done, call her